Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Life's a ride, so let's make it count. Cherish every moment, that's what it's about. Tune in together, we're building our groove. Every beat, every laugh, we're ready to move. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave the troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you'll find. With every word, we'll light up your day. Join the conversation, let's laugh all the way. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave your troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you find.
What up? Good morning. Hello. How are ya? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mom Bear. Oh, she left. You're back.
You scared me.
Did I?
That's scary.
My voice?
What you have on your face is scary.
It's cake time. Read it.
It's scary.
It's scary. It's cake time. There.
I don't know. Maybe you better put them back on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Shut up, Sarge. Baby New Year got old.
Hey, Sarge.
You know what you can do, Sarge? Good morning, sir. Anyway, good morning, Mama Bear. I switched this around so that I don't have the boobs.
Good.
Okay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We've missed you. Everybody has.
I've
Sure,
missed being here.
Really tired of just me. I'm sure they were. Yes, you do, Sarge. I know. Speaking of, let's see who we got. Of course, Sergeant Friday's mouth and the rest of him are in here. Miss Tandy, good to see you. Christina Nevada, welcome. Captain Jenks, good to see you, brother. Alicia J, hey. Good to see you. Good to see you. Miss Christina, welcome back to you. Good to see you today. Of course, Mama Bear in there and up here with us. Elizabeth Wagner, good to see ya. I'm sorry you feel bad. Hope you feel better. Miss Paula, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me see. Show. Your favorite thing. Michael Green, chili chicken. Hello. Welcome. Daniela Kiriako, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Always happy to see you all here. Miss Lacey, welcome back to you. Miss Teresa, good to see you today. And of course, Tag Burn, Johnny Gobble's Dead Floozy Mama's in the house. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. All of you guys. Please hit that like button on the way in the door. And thank you so much for joining us. Share it out. Let everybody know what we're doing. And come hang out with us. Grab a cup of whatever. Do this thing. All right. Let me see here. Show. Yes, of course, Elizabeth. Of course. Sarge, good to see you today, sir. All jokes aside, I hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to have you here, sir. And guys, don't forget, there's a link pinned in the top of the chat to hop on over to Mama Bear's chat and hit the like button over there if you will. Please and thank you. Thinking about it, Cap. Maybe that or something else. It depends on what I got going on. Something will be happening in here, but not 100% sure what it is. Maybe paranormal, maybe something else. Not sure yet, but either way, definitely will be. Thank you guys for the purple hearts. God bless. We appreciate you. Either way. But guys, please hop on over. It just takes a second to hit Mama Bear's like button over there. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Hit the notification bell over there as well. Her link's pinned right at the top of the chat. And I will actually drop it one more time here too for you guys. There you go. Mysterious Minds with Mama Bear. Dun, dun, dun. I like the new name. You did good. Are you here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was talking to myself, apparently. Thanks.
How'd that go?
Huh?
How'd that go for you?
Not real well.
Watch both and see Dago's lips move out of sync with what he's saying. I don't know what you mean by that, Sarge. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Tandy.
Hi, Lacey.
Good to see you, Lacey. So how's your day going so far, Mom Bear?
So far, so good.
Good. You sound upbeat and I don't know. Good to hear that.
Yeah. Hi, Daniela.
I was thinking of a paranormal night where we debunk ghost photos that were undebunked. That's interesting. Okay. I got some stuff lined up per se to do, but that's a good idea. In fact, let me write that down, Cap. That way we can throw that in the box with the rest of them. Well, that's good to hear, Daniela. We got 33 peeps in here, 21 likes.
Or I had suggested a couple years ago, like reviewing videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Debunking and right. That's a
Either
good idea.
debunk or just review them, see what everybody thinks, whether they're fake or real. Or
well, we did that this past Saturday night. I went in and we watched a bunch of, they weren't just ghost videos, but they were like a bunch of different paranormal stuff. And I'm like, you guys think this is a hoax? Do you think it's real? What do you think? We kind of did that this past Saturday after we covered the main topic. So, but I'm a mom. Good to see you.
Sorry.
I get it. It's like an old Bruce Lee movie when they can. What are you doing today? Are you up like eating sugar or something already? What's up with you? It is. That's what it reminds me of. I know what he's talking about. Like the.
I
think Police Academy did that.
When it's dubbed.
Yeah. Damn you! I will cut you in the face. Yeah, that kind of. I know what you're talking about. That's funny. Well, maybe you need to catch up, Sarge. Like fix your resync it. Yes, let everybody wake up first, Sarge. He's up on going like nonstop. He's probably been up since 5 a.m. That's why.
Probably.
That would give the audience great insight and time in on the photos and videos. Yeah, good points, Cap. Very good point, sir. Let me see here. Show. We could start with the Amityville Ghost Boy picture. It's a good one. It is interesting. Good point.
Did they ever find Annabelle?
I have no idea. It's not even the real Annabelle doll. It's the one that was in the movie. The real Annabelle doll is still locked in its place where it belongs. The Raggedy Ann one. And there was a thing that Brandy was reading. My wife was reading that said that it was a like a stunt, to publicity stunt or something. So I don't know. I don't know what's true, what's not. Who knows?
Andy's addicted to that hex game.
All right, real. See, I told you I'm taking them out. They're a distraction, like for kids. Jeez, I can't play those games because I won't be here. Good for you, Alicia. I didn't think you would. Got to stand strong with that kind of stuff. These kids have no fear. They don't understand what could happen. So sometimes you just got to say, nope, that's it. I don't see anything. So, of course, I'm going to look in on the Jack and Lily Sullivan situation. I do have something from CBC News. There's not much coming on this, guys. Nonstop. It's just quiet. I do have something stating that they resumed the search again as of 18 hours ago. They're talking about it. So we're going to look at those and get into whatever else is going on out there in the world. Yep, that's another one. We're going to actually, it's funny you brought that up, Phenomenal. That was one of my segments I was going to be putting up today. Something from James. For those of you that remember, we covered something James put out before. I try to mix up the segments we do in the morning shows from time to time. Well, that's one we're going to throw out today. So very interesting. It must be in my head or something. Yeah, there's two CTV News and CBC News put something out. So we're going to cover those two real quick. Both, one was 18 hours and one was 19 hours ago. It's probably stuff we already know. So either way, trying to keep up with it as much as I can. I really wish that they would just, something would happen. Like, this is insane. We're going on a month. I think it is probably almost a month now. And again, the only one that's in the news is the stepfather. It's crazy to me. She hasn't said one more word since that one interview. I don't even know. I don't know what to take on that or how to think. You know what I mean? I know. What are your thoughts on this, Mama Bear? We haven't really gotten much on that from you. So what do you think?
I'm very suspicious of the mom and her family.
Mm-hmm. I also have a little suspicion with the biological father's family too.
I don't know anything about them.
Just a little.
I don't know. There's something very fishy.
It's that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like in general.
Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's definitely something fishy.
Right. I don't. That's you have a good point, Christy. Saying I heard the babies with CYS, which I think is weird if the mom didn't do wrong. True.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know for a fact if that's true, but I heard the same thing. So I don't know. Definitely fishy stuff going on. Definitely. Or it's very simply the parents neglected to get out of bed. And I still have a problem with that for both the parents. Okay. They should have gotten up, taken care of the kids. We wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. That's all I'm saying. But if their story is 100% true, when the kids are up, we were up. That's just how that works. You know, if my kids are up running around, especially when they're that little, you're up. One of you is up taking care of these kids. So one of them should have been up, if not both. I know one of them was taking care of the baby, so that, you know, the other one needs to be up with the other kids. So that's my feeling on this. And this would have never happened. And there's a grand possibility if what he says is true, that he saw her in the morning run around with her backpack on. It was Friday. Maybe they were supposed to go to school. Like I said, some kids like school. They want to go. It's fun. And she got up, got ready, told him to get ready, and out the door they went because the parents weren't getting up to take them. So they just went on their own. went out to the road to stand there like they do for the bus, and it wasn't the right time, obviously. Maybe somebody grabbed him. I mean, truly, that's the only thing that really makes sense on this, other than, a foul play situation. So
But how much traffic really goes through there?
that's the problem I've had, is that it's a very, very rural area. They don't get a lot of traffic, and the odds that a predator is going to roll by in this area are like 1 in a million, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But like I said, in April there was a failed um, abduction at some point somewhere in that area. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe it was just, once again, an opportunity, a circumstance, and boom. You know what I mean? It's sad, but that could be what happened. And I hate to say that, but I don't know. Other than that, you guys, because the dog, like I said, the dogs followed their scent to the end of the driveway and stopped. Besides that, I feel like they left out of there in a vehicle, in somebody's car. Whose, I don't know. Why, I don't know. But that's the only other option I can think that makes sense to me. So they're definitely not in them woods, in my opinion, and I don't think they ever were. There's been too many searches going on for that. Hey, WB, good to see you today. And they've covered everything: drones and helicopters and searchers, and oh my, they've been out there every which way, and there's nothing. They would have found something. Nothing's been found. So, and like I said before, if a predatory animal would have grabbed them, there's 2 of them. One probably would have ran screaming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody would have heard that, and that doesn't. There was nothing. No scraps of clothing. No, nothing has been found except for that one piece of blanket supposedly that was found in the one area. But who knows when that was from? Okay, so that's the problem. Hey, Moonlit, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. And Meg P as well. It's okay, Meg. Thank you for that.
Sarge, it would be called the scent. You just said it.
Do you all know that what the dog is smelling when it tracks the scent? Their pheromones and stuff like that is what they track.
A scent?
Yeah, it's their scent. And I still have issues that the mother left. I know she was told to leave, and I know that, yes, Sarge, I know it's transfer DNA. He loves his transfer DNA. Basically, in a sense, what that is. He's right. But as a mother, as a parent, I'd have never left there. I'd have camped out on the road until my kids were found. That's all I'm saying. It's just odd that she left. Or didn't.
Yeah,
try
I
to
would
keep-
have been searching Estos in the area and going to their houses and going nuts.
Yeah. I just never. I know she was told by his family, and then CSB supposedly told them it's a better idea for her to go. I don't know, guys. There's some other details with mixed up in this that we don't know. That's the problem. So, if we had the rest of the information, maybe it would make more sense. We were told now that the kids were seen last Thursday night, so that alleviates the whole Tuesday through Wednesday scenario. So again, yeah, they're searching the pipeline now, and they did find footprints, from my understanding, along that pipeline at some point. So that'd be interesting if they went back through that way. That's really crazy to me. You know what I mean? That they would go back that far, but I guess things happen. You never know. So we're gonna pop these 2 up and check out what the updates are from the news, local news out there. See if there's anything else on it, and then we'll move forward from there. It does. It reminds me of Sebastian and Summer, in quite a few ways. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Let me know how the morning, Victoria. Let me know how the audio and stuff is, folks, if there's any problem.
Weeks since Daniel Martell has seen his stepchildren. 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing Friday, May 2nd, after they wandered out of their Pictou County home. They have not.
Yeah. That's a good point, Sarge. True. That way they can pay attention to what's going on with them and see if anything's going on there as far as suspicion wise. A good.
That they do
found after weeks.
find something. They don't want the parents to see.
That's true too. They don't want parents coming up on a situation, and I've been part of search and rescue teams where parents have demanded being there, and you come up on something, and that's bad. That's very bad. What's happening, Backwoods? Good to see you today, sir. Most kids won't even go to bed without a nightlight, let alone wander in the woods. That's another thought I've had. Like, I can't imagine them wanting to go out there by themselves. I would figure they'd have been petrified. You know, the truths. Welcome. Good to see you. Again, guys, make sure to pop on over to Mama Bear's side of things. Click the link at the top of the chat. Hop over, hit the like button, say hi. You're welcome to hang out over there because we're all here together. But please do. I appreciate that very much. Yep. Same. I think we all feel the same as you, Cap. If this was, we'd never stop searching. I don't care what they told me. I'd be out there doing it anyway. So that's just saying.
Of extensive searching the heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it's just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings from sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month, and it's really taken a toll.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know, but Daniel Martel finally took a polygraph test, and it was due to his own request, and he passed. From my understanding, everything went well. He passed. I still believe that Malaya should take one as well. That way, if they both have taken that kind of takes a little bit off them, in my opinion. Jesse Schul's in the house. Hey, what's happening, brother? I bet they are. They always do. But yeah, I think that would take a little bit of weight off of them. Maybe the public wouldn't look at them so harshly. I've never looked at Daniel in any other way than he's the only one that's been out there. He's the only one that's been come forward. He seems to be being actually genuine, you know. I still, when a situation like this, I still look at the parents as, you know, questionable until they're 100% cleared. Just like with Sebastian's case, just like with Summer's case, all of them. That's just how we do it. And there's just something's off with this. And I've always had an issue with the mother. But my mom came in here yesterday and she was watching and she goes and asked if she had any psych issues. And I said, I don't know. She goes, because she presents in a weird way. I've been a nurse for 50 some odd years. So, you know, she sees different things that she judges on too. And I said, maybe that's why she was given the interview that way. I don't know, but she does present strangely. Maybe that's what it is, or it's guilt of some sort or something. Who knows? But I just don't trust the mother. So just saying. But there's some strange things with this. Definitely fishy issues, and I'm real curious as to what it could be. And my other issue, guys, is there were 2 other adults supposedly on this property when this happened. Daniel's mother and brother were right there in that camper on the property. You didn't see anything, hear nothing? 4 adults and 2 kids go missing. I don't get that. You know what I mean? It just bugs me. Moonlit, great to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. Take a deep breath, Jesse. Don't let him get to you, bro. If you didn't do it, you don't need a circus. Just the truth. Who cares what the world thinks if you're clean unless you're not weird? Agreed, bro. Agreed. 100%.
This weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
A vigil of flowers and stuffed animals has grown in recent weeks outside the RCMP station in nearby Stellarton. Since May 2nd, when Lily and Jack went missing, people here in Pictou County are still struggling to understand what happened and why there are still no answers.
Every day, almost, I go by the RCMP, and it's just so tragic. Just so tragic. You know, I just feel so bad for their whole family. I'm hoping that they find them.
It just doesn't look good, but I hope I'm wrong.
The warden of Pictou County says many people are on edge and children are worried about playing outside.
Oh, I think it's mostly a mood of anxiety, maybe, and frustration. They too can't believe that there's not an answer by this long and this many people looking.
The RCMP have confirmed Lily and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP. Martel says every detail helps and could lead to finding Lily and Jack.
I'm going to keep fighting for for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
Haley Ryan, CBC News, Lansdowne Station.
And that's, see what I'm saying? I mean, he comes off as genuine to me. I don't know what you think, Bear, but Randy Burr, what's up, brother? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Any thoughts on that interview, Mama Bear?
He does come off very genuine. And him, giving up his phone willingly and then offering to do the polygraph, that says a lot for
I
him.
agree. I that's the same way I felt one. I think a lot of us, I know Alicia said she had that same kind of feeling from him at some point. He's the only one that showed any emotion.
Right.
She didn't even blink, I mean, some people do, I guess. Some people don't, but I'd be a, you know me,
Mhm.
I'd be a ball of mush right now. There's no way.
For sure.
And the abduction side of this, okay, I can see it, but 2 kids is odd to me. At the same time, it just seems a little odd. Maybe it happens. I'm sure it does. I know it has, but I don't know. We're getting mixed up on that party there, Sarge. There was initially a neighbor came out, stated there was a party. There were cars stacked to the road. It was going on. And then Alicia said she heard somewhere that it wasn't that big of a deal, that it was at 2 p.m. There was only a couple cars. Then we got more information that came out from like multiple neighbors, I guess, that it went on until 2 a.m. and that there were tons of cars again. So I don't know 100% what the truth is on that, Sarge. My understanding, though, is it was Thursday night. So I read somewhere in one of the Facebook groups yesterday that when they were seen out in public Thursday afternoon, that they were out buying Thursday night. Sorry, my son was talking to me, but yeah, the stuff that I was reading in the Facebook group says that when they were seen Thursday afternoon, they were buying what looked like party supplies, so on and so forth. And so Thursday, supposedly, it went on till the new stuff I've read on it. It went on all night till like 2 a.m. I don't know. And that's somebody said that's probably why they were not getting up out of bed that morning, because they were up all night and they were tired. So I don't even know if that's true. It's stuff that people write in Facebook. We don't have proof, And they said they had 50 plus interviews that they were doing. Hey, Dan Smith, good to see ya. Thank you for joining us. Wait a minute. Is that you, Bryan?
I was just getting ready to say, I was like, that has to be Bryan.
That's Bryan. It's good to see you, buddy. I kind of do too, Aurora. I do too. But we'll find out. Maybe he said, shh, yes. Bryan, you should try to come back in under your normal name, or you're not blocked in here, obviously. So I don't know what's going on with your stuff, but I'm glad you're here. We missed you. But yeah, I don't know if the truth will ever come out. Exactly what happened with this party thing. Either way, people have parties. Okay. They do definitely need to interview. If there was a lot of people there, they need to talk to all of them and find out what they saw that night with the kids. Maybe this is just what it is. Maybe they did have a party Thursday that ran late and they slept in because they were, tired or whatever. And the kids got up and, like I said, got ready, wanted to go to school, headed out the door. They were drifting in and out of sleep. They weren't fully awake. Went out, waited by the road for the bus, and somebody took them. Truly, I mean, Occam's razor. You know what I mean? That makes it seem that's about as basic as you can get, folks. And it makes sense. And it kind of goes along with their story. Which in turn tells me, in a sense, they're telling the truth. I still have issues with the mom, though. Maybe it's something that we don't know about with her. I don't know. I don't know. Whole password thing, poop. Oh, okay, I got you, Bryan. It could be, Sarge. It could have been. Who knows? I don't know. There was other people in the Facebook groups again that are stating that they hang around with some shady people, that some of their friends are shady. Well, it is what it is. Who knows? I don't know that means anything, but anything at this point, Sarge, is possible. You don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like I believe Daniel saying that he saw her that morning and heard Jack in the kitchen. Why would he say that if it wasn't true, unless they're hiding something? Which, again, I think RCMP would have figured that out by now. It's been a month. They took his phone. They took everything. They questioned him multiple times. They were all over him like flies on shit. They haven't arrested him. You know what I mean? So there's something's not right somewhere, but I'm sure at some point it will be found. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I want to run this other update though. Well, that's the point, Brian, is that I still say that's the biggest issue I have, is that when those kids were up, they should have got up. One of them should have, at least. And that would have avoided all this, in my opinion. So bad things happen. And that's really, I don't know. It's horrible. It's just horrible. It really is. Hold on here. I want to grab the other news release on this that just dropped last night. As soon as I
Can't
find it.
ask dogs trace to the end of the driveway, correct?
Right, Sarge. Right. It happens. It doesn't mean that they deserve this. Okay. Kids don't know. You know, I agree with you. You know, like I said, they should have gotten up. We wouldn't be here, but things happen sometimes, you know. You just pray that these things don't happen. Where'd it go? Damn it. Hold on a minute, you guys. I'm sorry. Swear to God, my computer's haunted. Things appear, then they disappear. No, not.
Hello, Jody.
Hey, Miss Jody. Here it is. Jesus. It was hidden. I swear to God, Sarge. Keep it up, Sarge.
Hello, True Seeker.
It happens. It happens all the time. I was almost taken one time when I was 7. Yeah, 7. It's a scary situation. Come on with the smart ass comment now, Sarge. I know there's one coming. Especially with that statement. I guarantee you there's one. Hey, Truth Seeker, good to see you. What's up, Matt? Yeah, it is very creepy, Dan. Or Brian. Jesus. Asked if I was adopted and was told, do you really think we would have picked? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's horrible, Sarge. That ain't true. Yeah, somebody tried to take me. I was walking home from school when I was in 2nd grade. And if you guys remember those things that people would put in their windows as like a hand that meant that they were helping, a helping hand. If you had something like that going on, you could run to that house for help. At least here in Ohio, we had those. And this lady had one, and I saw it in her window, and these 2 guys were coming at me. I went to go around a shed, and they started chasing me around the shed to go to grab for me, and I bolted like you wouldn't believe. I was flying, and I started screaming, and I ran to that lady's porch, knocked the beat on the door. I was kicking the door, actually. She opened the door and drug me in, and I turned and looked, and they were gone. So that was some scary shit right there. And I was so freaked out as I couldn't even remember how to describe them, other than they were both tall. Well, I was like 2 foot tall back then, so it made no difference. And they both had hats on and glasses. So that's all I remembered. Not yet, Paula. We're getting into it now. I can agree with that, Christy.
The weekend is here, and yes, we do have some wet weather building in, particularly for Saturday afternoon, but we'll see the potential for some sunshine.
From sadness, it just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month, and it's really taken a toll.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
A vigil of flowers and stuffed animals has grown in recent weeks outside the RCMP
Welcome, Heather.
station in nearby Stellarton. Since May 2nd, when Lily and Jack went missing, people here in Pictou County are still struggling to understand what happened and why there are still no answers.
Every day, almost, I go by the RCMP, and it's just so tragic, just so tragic. You know, I just feel so bad for their whole family. I'm hoping that they find them.
It just doesn't look good, but I hope I'm wrong.
No, Matt, they don't do that anymore because one of the reasons is it was traumatizing other children, they said. And I thought that was one of the best ways to get it out there, but they just don't do it anymore, sadly. Welcome, Heather. Just good to see you.
The warden of Pictou County says many people are on edge and children are worried about playing outside.
Oh, I think it's mostly a mood of anxiety, maybe, and frustration. They too can't believe that there's not an answer by this long and this many people looking.
The RCMP have confirmed Lily and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP. Martel says every detail helps and could lead to finding Lily and Jack.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
Haley Ryan, CBC News, Lansdowne Station.
Nova Scotia Power is facing more questions today after the utility revealed as many as one.
Well, that's it as far as that goes. I don't know, you guys. It's weird that this doesn't get a lot of airplay in the United States. I know it's in Canada, but there's states that are close to Canada from the United States. They're like border it. So you would think that maybe they would play it here too, because you never know. Like they could have been brought across the border. Yeah, I don't understand that. Welcome, Katrinka. Good to see you. 1 minute here, guys. Let me check over here. Miss Nellie B, welcome, dear. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. As always, guys, we all been following everything Michelle does on this too, so we're gonna run that next. Michelle After Dark. She's been pretty decent with what she's put out on this, and I really appreciate it. And I have one more that we're gonna follow on this and see what she says on here, and then we're done and moving forward to the next scenario. Again, thank you all for joining us. Again, for those of you just tuning in, we're looking into and talking about the situation with Jack and Lily Sullivan, the two missing children out of Nova Scotia, Canada. So this here is Michelle After Dark. Here we go.
I'm going to make this super quick, but this has come out in the last hour, so I think you could kind of call it breaking news. Totally unexpected, the RCMP has reported that there is going to be yet another search for Lily and Jack Sullivan tomorrow. Ground search efforts are planned for tomorrow, May 31st, as the missing persons investigation into the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan continues In an effort to advance the ongoing investigation and locate Lily and Jack, searchers from ground search and rescue teams and the RCMP will focus on specific areas around Gerlach Road and the nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located. We continue to ask the public to avoid the search area to allow trained searchers to do their work. Any future searches will be determined based on the course of the investigation. So they're focusing on the pipeline. So this is a trail where a natural gas pipeline runs, and I think it was like the day after Lily and Jack went missing, they found a child's boot print. But they searched the area and they did kind of focus over into that kind of westerly direction when you look at the search maps. They're back there tomorrow, so they obviously still have it in their heads that Lily and Jack could have wandered off. That's intriguing, given that they've just yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, appealed to the public for dashcam footage from noon April 28th to noon May 2nd. So that kind of implied to me that they were focusing on suspicious vehicles and, you know, movements around the area that could indicate maybe an abduction or at least tracking people's movements. I don't think they've got any idea at all what happened, and they're just trying everything. So I'm glad they're back out there. Now, CBC has picked up on this and has got some quotes from Daniel, the stepdad. So that's the news release that we've just read. Wish this map had stopped moving. Daniel Martel, the children's stepfather, has previously told CBC the 2 boot tracks were found near his home as well as another nearby. The RCMP's major crime unit has been involved since the day after the children was reported missing. Martel said the disappearance has taken a toll on him and his family. Every day I wake up, it feels like I'm reliving a nightmare, he said on Friday, nearly 1 month after the children went missing. It's 4 weeks today since they went missing. He looks tired, he looks broken, honestly. The main feeling of sadness just turns to anger because there's no evidence after 1 month. Still, Martel has not lost hope. That's all we have at this point, he said. That's the only goal I have, is to bring Jack and Lily home. Martel has asked RCMP for a polygraph test earlier in the investigation, told CBC, we talked about this in a video today, that he did have the test. And he said, you really can't point fingers at me anymore. Okay. Martel also addressed rumours that there was a party at the home before the children went missing. There was no drug party the day before the disappearance, he said. That's absolute nonsense. Robert Parker, warden for the municipality of the county of Pictou, said there is a feeling of disappointment and sadness in the community. We haven't even found one iota, it appears, of what happened to little Lily and little Jack, said Parker in an interview on Friday. It's hard to believe that many people look for that long, including search parties from all over this province, and the RCMP have been involved since day one. Lots of others looking and trying, but not one iota that I've heard of anyway, as to a hint as to where the 2 little ones went. Parker said residents are feeling anxious and frustrated by the many questions left unanswered 4 weeks later. I know older people in their 90s, they've told me they can't sleep at night. Those little ones, and all the little ones, belong to all of us. We all feel like they're part of our family. They're part of the Pictou County family. They're part of the Nova Scotia family. We need to find answers. Yeah, well, hopefully the searches will continue. The other day they said they didn't have any other searches planned, and then we get this. But long may it continue until little Lily and little Jack are found and are brought home. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And
Thank you, Michelle, once again. One more, guys. I'm going to look at this again. At this point now, we watched one a while back, a couple weeks back, I think. Pat Brown covered this. She did a new one last night. I know some people probably don't agree with her in some senses. I've always followed a lot of what she's covered. She's always been pretty good. I'm just curious to see what she thinks at this point now, after things have, changed around a little bit. See how she's at, where she's at with it. I'm sorry. And then we're going to be moving on. Just like to put these kids out every day if I can, at least once. And, everybody needs to see this. So.
everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown, and there has been an update from the RCMP in Nova Scotia concerning Lily and Jack Sullivan, the missing children. And there's a lot of confusion over what the timeline that they are now presenting actually means. And when I did my last video, which I'll link below, where I analyzed what might have happened to the two children, I pointed out that there was a gap in time where they were last seen because they hadn't been in school. And then when they went missing, I said, well, there might be about 72 hours, which are unaccounted for. This was important to me as a profiler because the more time you have where children are unaccounted for is the more time you have to do something with them if you did something to them. So you would have a few days to work with. If something happened to them, you could move them to some other location, even quite far away. You could drive a couple hours and find a remote place and bury them and then come back home. And nobody's going to be looking 2 hours away. They're only going to be looking in the vicinity because you say that's where they went missing. So that's why I pointed out that at the point in time when I did the video, there was only 72 hours that were sort of unaccounted for at that time. Now the RCMP has made a statement. And let me read you what the statement is because I find it very interesting. And let me read it to you first. The RCMP in Nova Scotia are looking for more video footage of two young children who vanished nearly 4 weeks ago and are now confirming the siblings were seen in public with family members the day before being reported missing. Okay, this is very important because if this is true, the 3 days which they might have had to work with if the parents were involved is now shrunk down to less than 24 hours, which still gives a reasonable amount of time, mind you. But that is important because you're trying to figure out what time frame anybody had to work with. Now, mind you, the RCMP has said they don't believe the children were abducted, which is fascinating in it right there, because what proof do they have that they weren't abducted? Because if the children managed to get out of their yard and somebody theoretically could have abducted them, why would they say they don't believe they were abducted? Well, they must have some reason to believe that, which ends up being two possibilities then. One, the children truly did get out of the backyard and go off into the woods there, and they just haven't found their bodies because they got lost in. It's hard to find bodies sometimes, especially small ones. Or something happened to those children that has to do with the parents that were in the house. And what I pointed out in my video last time was people keep talking about how the place is trashy and, it's a horrible, there's cars everywhere and there's junk everywhere. And that means the parents are bad people. That just, I disagree with that. There's a lot of people who live out country way, shall we?
And she's right. And I've seen a lot of people make statements about because the yard looks kind of crappy. Welcome, Donna. Good to see you, dear. And this and that, everything. It doesn't mean they weren't taken care of, guys. There's a lot of people that just they live that way, It doesn't always mean they're bad parents, guys. And that's one thing I absolutely agree with her on, that there's so many people that will judge the way that people take care of their kids just because they have a trashy looking yard, I guess you could say, or a cluttered yard, I guess, for lack of it. Now, I will say that, I don't think it's right to have like broken down washing machines and dryers and stuff like that on your back porch where kids could get cut, scratched, stuff like that. No, that's not a good idea. But sometimes people don't have choices as to what to do with things. You don't have a lot of room. So I get some of this stuff. I do. But I don't think you should judge people based on what their yard looks like, because that doesn't mean they're not taking care of their kids, is all I'm saying. And I agree with Pat with that one for sure. I think she does. They're her kids, WB. He's the stepfather. He has two of his own children that I've seen in pictures, but I don't know if they were there, if they would come and go, or what the deal was. Yeah, right. But again, inside the house could be spotless. Look at that house. Yeah, 100%. That's absolutely positive. And guys, like we said before, we've seen people that have beautiful houses outside, beautiful yards, things so on and so forth, like the house we looked at yesterday, like she's talking about. The inside of it looked like a septic system, a garbage dump. So it happens either way, you know.
New baby is his.
Huh?
New baby is his.
Yeah, the new baby's his. I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't say that. The 16 or 18-month-old baby is his. Theirs together. He has 2 other children from another relationship, and these 2 kids for her are hers with another relationship as well. I'm sorry, guys. I should have clarified that. Thank you, Alicia.
We say they love fixing up cars. There's a lot of guys who like to get hold of a car that's, instead of buying a brand new car, they get hold of a car somebody's getting rid of, and they love to fix those cars up. And so they tend to have a lot of cars around. And then if they just have a backyard where they got chickens, which they do, and they put toys out, and they have, they're maybe not the neatest people, but that has nothing to do with the fact that they did anything to their children. Lindsay Clancy, who murdered 3 of her children up in Massachusetts, had a gorgeous house, everything absolutely pristine. All the children's toys were in proper places. She was absolutely a neatnik, and she killed 3 children. So that has nothing to do with just because you don't like the way they don't clean up enough. They got junk everywhere. It has nothing to do with that. The children can't be running around happily, especially in a big backyard with there's chickens and there's a play set and there's toys. I don't see any real good reason why they would have gone out of that yard in a short period of time. Some people said they could be like some kind of holes in the fencing that they could get through. Yeah, maybe, but did they have a good reason to? In a short period of time that the mom and stepdad say they were out there playing, I find that hard to believe. So for me, it isn't a matter of what the place was too junky. It was that the children had a nice place to play, regardless of what you think about how pristine it was. And children don't give a crap about that. So they're having a good time out there. And they're used to being out in the backyard. Why are they running away, into the woods? I mean, so that's why I'm suspicious about the children disappearing on their own. But the RCMP says they weren't abducted, which is interesting because that only leaves the mom and stepdad in the focus. That doesn't mean they did anything, but it just put the big, huge light on them. All right, so let me read a little further on this. Lily and so they were supposedly seen in public one day before they had gone missing. They were seen in public with family members. And a lot of people have said, what does that mean? They were seen in public with family members. I don't know. And this is a problem. In theory, if it's video, if they have a video view of the children in public with the family members, then we've definitely down to less than 24 hours.
Brian, I put Mama Bear's link back in the chat over here. It's right there underneath her name. If you want to grab it.
He made
right
it.
Okay, there you go.
And that will be absolute. If it wasn't video, somebody said they saw the children with family members. Witnesses are always a little sketchy. Did they really see them? Don't know. Or were they in a vehicle driving by and they saw them, but they didn't know if they were those people and those kids, and if the kids were alive. All kinds of possibilities. But the RCMP is saying they're confirming the siblings were seen in public with family members a day before being reported missing, which when a police agency makes a confirmation, you would think they mean it. Okay.
Yeah, I did see that phenomenon, Mom. That's crazy, isn't it?
Lily and Jack Sullivan, age 6 and 4, were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, on May 2nd. Now, keep the May 2nd in mind. In a Wednesday update, RCMP said they confirmed the 2 were, quote, observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st, based on details they've gathered. They later clarified that confirmation was made by both video evidence and eyewitness accounts. Well, I don't know why they had to later clarify it, but they're claiming at this point, RCMP, that there is video evidence. And if that is true, then the children, just a narrow timeline or 24 hours when the children could have disappeared, as opposed to just the morning of the 2nd. All right, now, then it gets a little weird. Police also said investigators have collected hours of video from the area surrounding Lansdowne Station, which is excellent. We're now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Garlic Road, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but okay, Garlic Road, between 12 p.m. on April 28th and 12 p.m. on May 2nd to contact us. Wait a minute. If they were seen, and you actually have confirmed they were seen the afternoon of May 1st, what do you care happened prior to May 1st, April 28th, April 29th? What the heck? Why do you even care? I don't even understand that. Because if they were alive on the 1st, all the other stuff is me.
I think they're doing that because I think they're looking to see if they see any cars, like repetitive vehicles that aren't normally in that area, maybe that could be casing that area, maybe without state plates or out of area plates that are back and forth between those days, repeatedly back and forth. If they're seeing these cars, I think they're looking to see if possibly somebody was casing that area. That's truly what my feeling is on that. I could be wrong, but that's what I've come together with that so far with what I've seen. And it would make a little sense. Yeah, Donna. You know what I mean? Just seeing if there's kids in that area. Where did the kids come out? How often they come out, where they come out at, things like that. So that's my opinion.
Meaningless. So unless they're looking, because they say they aren't looking at an abduction. If you were looking at an abduction, you'd be saying, what sketchy people might be,
Now, one other thing I want you guys to think about here. I was thinking about this yesterday. Hey, Circus Music, good to see you. They might be saying that they're not looking at the abduction side of this to kind of keep it quiet if they are, so that they don't spook who may have done this. Think about that for a minute. I think that's been done in Sebastian's case too. That if they come out and say that we think it was an abduction, the people that, if somebody did abduct them, are going to get a little bit nervous and start fluttering around and may take off or do something. So in turn, if they keep saying they don't believe that this was an abduction, those people, if they did it, aren't going to worry about it. See what I'm saying? That could be. That's just a thought. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying it's a thought that I had. Yeah, good point, Backwoods. Very good point.
Rolling around in the area that we don't even know who they are. They're acting weird or they're looking for children. You could go there, but they're saying there's no abduction. The children either got lost, which would have happened exactly on May 2nd. So you don't care what happens before May 2nd, or if their parents, somebody on that property did something to them, then you would only care if you saw them on May 1st for sure. You'd only care about those next 24 hours. I don't even know why they're looking further back, unless are they telling the truth about their video evidence that the children were alive on May 1st. I find it very conflicting, and I don't quite understand that. And then they said, police said they're committed to exploring all possibilities when it comes to the case. Okay, well, you should explore all possibilities. And as a profiler, even if I have a viewpoint which I'm pushing, let's say 85%, 90% in this direction, I'm not going to let go of the other percentage, which this could be one of those freaky things where, man, everything looked like it went this way, but it actually is this. So I can't say that the children didn't wander away. I personally can't say they weren't abducted. I can't say whether the parents did something to them. What I can say is I find the abduction thing very unlikely considering where they're located and how much time the mom and stepdad said the children went missing. And if you look back, if you go.
That's one of my theories too, Yvonne. I agree. That's very possible at this point.
Go to my old video to see what I say about the mother's statement, which I did statement analysis on. And I said, she's deceptive. And then something is wrong with what she's saying because she's making up a story about the children being outside playing when she didn't know the children were outside playing. I mean, it's very confusing. So go check my previous video on that so you can see what my analysis of her statement was, which is why I found her deceptive and which why I have to look at what happened to those children in that home. So where are we now? Well, we're not any place. We're hoping that the police are where they need to be. I'm not sure why they're saying what they're saying and what they're exactly looking for. but they're looking especially on that road. And what are they looking for on that road? The children weren't abducted. What are they looking for? And the only thing I can think of is one of the family members, mom, stepdad, or somebody else on that property, looking at their vehicles coming and going on that road, because the children didn't wander off. Somebody had to take them away on that road. And that may be why the police are looking on that road. Maybe most specifically from the first to the second, but it is possible they're saying, just in case, or whatever the video evidence is and whatever witness evidence there is isn't quite accurate, we want to move it back a few days, just in case.
Agreed.
That would be the best I could guess. So it's been a while now since the children have gone missing. And it'll be interesting to see whether they come up with what they need to determine what exactly happened to these children. I'm sure they're still doing the interviewing of everyone who might be involved, and they're looking for those deceptive moments. Stepdad has said he's taken a polygraph. He says, what do you say, came back good. But, we don't have proof that he, quote, passed it. And again, polygraphs, we can't necessarily believe them. And it depends what the police were doing with the polygraph. If they're using it, which is what you use it for, is to be able to, you're not really looking for exact answers and proof that they are, either 100% passed or showed deception. It's the interview that comes before, during, and after that really is what the whole polygraph thing is about. It's an interrogation of it. So I don't know what the police are looking for. I don't know what the police have, but I find the timeline thing is a little wishy-washy. But that they're looking at the road is more interesting to me, the specific road, so that they think something happened, which they're looking for evidence of the children in some way being moved from the home down that road, or if they were seen on the first, actually at somewhere, and they never actually came home, that would be a whole nother issue as well. So I think that's what they're looking for, because they're saying they're not looking at an abduction. And could the children have wandered down that road, just down the road? Well, sure. But nobody ever said they saw the children on the road. So if they're not looking at abduction, we're back to they're looking at the children not going off on their own and not being taken away by anybody outside of the family unit. That's what I think they're looking at. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this. Please add your comments below. Please, if you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe, and check my playlist for the other cases I cover. But also just keep tuned, because I don't know what they're going to come up with next. But when they do come up with some more interesting information, I will obviously offer my opinion on that. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Miss Pat Brown. Appreciate her insight. Like I said, not everybody cares for her. I've just really smart. She's done a lot of good stuff on different cases. So, oh boy, do I want to put this up here or not? Oh, what the hell? There's something in here. There's a piece of an interview. We can ridicule it either way. Don't have to believe it. It's a quick one anyway, so hold on. Yeah, it's only 7 minutes total. Tear it apart, folks. Do what you're going to do. All right.
The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, says he has been interviewed extensively since Lily and Jack were first reported missing.
You mentioned last time we chatted that you'd offered to do a polygraph test.
That is correct.
Has that already happened?
That has happened.
Right. And did you get results from that yet?
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor, we'll say that.
That's the quote-unquote stepfather of 2 missing Nova Scotian children, and I don't like that answer. In fact, it's just one of a couple red flags in this brief interview. So in today's video,
Here's my issue: as much I've been playing different things from him, he doesn't want to give Daniel a break on anything. The man just said that he basically passed his polygraph, and you don't like that answer, so okay. I just want to see this interview he did in this too. So anyway,
let's watch it together and count them. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation, so if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives, early access, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. Before we grab our deception decks and start analyzing this interview, I have a confession to make. I only know about this interview from the comments on my last video. But the ironic thing is, even after watching this interview, nothing's changed. So here's what I said about Daniel and his polygraph in that video.
The stepfather insists that he's been cooperating with the police, including providing a polygraph test, which he did, and he says he passed.
That's the clip. So what do we have? We don't have the RCMP or Daniel saying that he's been interviewed by them, nor do we have the RCMP in their update or Daniel on camera saying he's been polygraphed. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't been polygraphed. However, the reason for the polygraph, at least according to him, was to shut down online speculators and crazy theories. So I would have expected him to boldly announce those amazing results rather than coyly mentioning it off camera. So that was my take before knowing that Daniel did in fact discuss his polygraph results on camera in this Global News interview, which we're about to analyze. And as you can see, I was skeptical about the claim that he passed it because even though he said a whole bunch of other things on camera, that detail was hearsay. We didn't see Daniel himself saying it. We only heard the reporter relaying what he said. Daniel said he passed. So now that we have this Global News interview, let's listen to his exact words to see if he in fact did say that he passed his polygraph, or did that reporter break the first rule of statement analysis, inferring something that wasn't actually said.
Just over a week ago, the road behind me was still swarming with search and rescue personnel as RCMP resumed their ground search for 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, who first went missing 3 weeks ago in Lansdowne Station. Now, this has been a story that has dominated headlines across the country and beyond as people speculate and wonder about what could have happened to these 2 missing children. Now, just because the road is deserted doesn't mean RCMP are finished with their investigation. In fact, they just put out a statement Wednesday calling on the public for more footage. They add RCMP are committed to exploring all possibilities in the case and have formally interviewed more than 50 people, with more interviews planned in the coming days. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, says he has been interviewed extensively since Lily and Jack were first reported missing.
You mentioned last time we chatted that you'd offered to do a polygraph test.
That is correct.
Has that already happened?
That has happened.
Right. And did you get results from that yet?
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor, we'll say that.
Daniel didn't say he passed his polygraph, so I'm not going to assume that he did. And that's just how statement analysis works. I'm not here to interpret what people say or decode what they say or anything else. I'm literally just pointing out what they say and not jumping to any conclusions. Because most of the time, people don't tell direct lies. Instead, what they do is they make implications or they say vague things in hope that their listeners deceive themselves. I've put the vagueness card from my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation, on your screen if you want to read that rule. But the gist is, at least in this case, if Daniel had passed his polygraph with flying colors, I would have expected him to say that loud and clear. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if he were to show the actual polygraph papers with all the little line squiggles on it just to prove it to us. But instead, what he did was give a vague, hedging answer, which is typically what people do when they're talking about something negative.
He also said he didn't know if he was allowed to share those things, so there's the reason why he did that, in my opinion.
My guess, Daniel either failed or got inconclusive on the polygraph. And before I get the flood of comments that I always get whenever the word polygraph is mentioned, yes, polygraphs are not admissible in court. Yes, they are fallible. Yes, they are a pseudoscience. But the point is that they're an investigative tool. And if Daniel believes in them enough to voluntarily offer to take one to prove his innocence, I would expect him to at least show the results if they were positive. Let's keep watching because it gets worse. Like I said, there's multiple red flags in this interview.
And did you get results from that yet?
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor, we'll say that.
Martel says he is glad the police have put out the additional call for footage and is again asking anyone with information to come forward. Despite not having had contact with the children's mother, Malaya, since May 3rd when she left the search area, He says an RCMP liaison has been assigned to keep them both informed as the investigation progresses.
Trust the RCMP word, and I mean, you don't have to trust my word, but I'm the only one doing media for Jack and Lily, trying to keep the story alive and get them found.
According to RCMP, any future searches will be determined based on the course of the investigation. They say they've covered a 5.5 kilometer search area and received 355 tips so far.
I don't know if he's been told like not to talk about certain things. We were also told that she said that law enforcement told them not to talk to the media, which I find that really hard to believe. Hey, CJ, good to see you today. Thanks for joining us. I don't know. That's a little weird to me. I've never seen that happen before. I don't know if it's a Canada thing, but it just doesn't make sense that you would think that law enforcement wouldn't say that. They would want you putting it out in the media so that the media could help people to find them, you know? I never did understand that. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about that statement about, I don't know if I'm allowed to share this or not. I don't know what he's been told. That's the problem, you guys. And how whatever he's been told, it's how he understands it too. That's the other side of it. So who knows? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
In the search for Lily and Jack Sullivan. Ella MacDonald, Global News, Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia.
3 things jumped out to me in that segment, so let's go through them one by one. The first is the size and scale of the search. If the kids actually did wander off, it's very surprising that no dogs found any traces of them, and they still haven't found any evidence of where they went. Remember, Lily and Jack are 6 and 4 years old. They're not ninjas sneaking through the bush, leaving no traces or evidence of their presence. My second issue is how patient and understanding Daniel is with the RCMP. If you've seen my videos analyzing innocent parents like Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian Rogers, you'll know that innocent parents get very angry with the police because their kid is missing. No matter what the police are doing, it's never enough. Finally, I never like when a supposed victim, like the parent of a missing child, refers to the event as a story, because stories are typically fictional. In other words, it could be leakage that they know the version of events that they're pushing is actually fiction. Moreover, it's interesting that Daniel said that his main priority in sticking around and talking to the media is to keep the story alive, not to find Lily and Jack, or to help in the search, or figure out who actually took them. Remember, Lily and Jack supposedly disappeared without a trace while he was asleep. So how does he know what the real story is anyway? He should be just as clueless and curious as all of us are. Those are the big red flags from this interview, but I saved the best for last, and it's actually from my last video. That reporter who reported that Daniel passed his polygraph also said something else in her report. She said that he provided a polygraph. If the police administered it, I would have expected her to say that he took a polygraph or he was subjected to a polygraph. But she said provided, which might mean that he picked his polygrapher and selected which set of results he would submit to the police. And if that's the case, the results are even less reliable than usual. If you want me to continue analyzing this case, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Check the end card for my Lily and Jack playlist and my video about Seth Rogers so you can see what an actual innocent parent looks like. Until next time, stay true.
Yeah, I think I don't know how much of what he says I agree with. So I don't know. Everybody has different opinions and theories on these things, guys, and it's just, whoa, that's flying. Hold on. Guys, please make sure to hit that like button on your way in if you would, please. Looks like we had 82 peeps in here with 55 likes. Please, if you will, hit that like button. Let me make sure I have that right. Yep, that's right. Please make sure to hit the like button, guys, if you will. Please and thank you. I appreciate it very much. All right, let's see what we got coming up next, guys. Again, just keep praying that these kids are found, something happens, and figure out what's going on there. Let me see here. Show. Excuse me. Whoa, what was sent to me? I got some stuff here. You still here, Mom Bear?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody sent me this. I don't know that I want to review this, though. I'm not a big fan of hers. I'm just not. But I've been following about just about anything that's been dropping on this and coming out. Also, let me check something here for you guys too. 1 minute, please, and thank ya. All right. Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. Let me see here. Show. Oh. There's one new document in Idaho as of yesterday, and it's just an order. They put an order out to seal the proposed supplemental jury instruction, guys. That's it. And then, of course, on the 28th, the motion for that came out. He ordered it. It's sealed. It's done. So that's all. Nothing exciting in there. Just to let you guys know if anybody didn't see it. Where did I go? Oh, okay. 17 hours ago. Now, there's a new thing out here now. Everybody's trying to say that Bryan stalked the roommates on Yik Yak. I think it's more bullshit. So tired of seeing it. It's ridiculous. Anything they can do. Anything they can do. All right. Let me see here. So, I did have some other stuff I was trying to show y'all. I don't know if you guys know. That's not it. Where is it? Excuse me. All right. Let's grab that one. Ba-doomba, ba-ba-doomba. Where the hell did this go? Good Lord. Oh, yeah, here it is. I don't know if you guys seen this case. About Brandon Gregory. You heard about that one, Mama Bear?
Brandon Gregory?
Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Killed his wife with a baseball bat and then drove cross country with it. I don't know if you followed that or not. I'm trying to show other cases to everybody that we haven't seen and covered because of Idaho and stuff like that, just to keep things moving in the news. I got a couple of them. Let me see here. I got a couple of them. I'm making sure that I didn't show them already. Okay, yeah, I do have two here. Trying to show you guys. I'm trying to decide which one I want to show you. Let's go with this one. This one's actually pretty wild. These have all been insanely wild too, by the way. Then again, another story out of Texas. Surprise. It's so hot down there. People go crazy down there because of the damn heat. I'm telling you. Hey, Ginger. Good to see you. All right, guys. Check this one out. This is a little wild here. Seriously. It's out of Waller County in Texas, like I said. I don't know if any of you Texans or anybody knows Texas have heard this. It's wild for sure.
Less than 2 weeks after New Year's, the local police department received a chilling phone call.
Waller County 911.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Rodney Dykes. I need an ambulance and police at 2060 College Boulevard.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know everything, but my son's wife is dead.
Thanks, Backwoods.
Jared James Dykes and Angie Diaz were both 21. They'd gotten married in October 2022, less than 3 months earlier. And in their photos, they were all smiles, excited to begin a life together. But that was then. This was now.
No, she's down and there's no head on her body.
The couple lived in a house on Jared's parents' property. In the afternoon of January 11th, his parents had gone over to the house to check on Angie. What they found was something no one should ever have to see, and certainly never have to go through. Angie was dead on the floor, and her head had been cut off. Terrified that such a horrific crime had occurred so close to home, the Dykes called the police, and when the police arrived, the carefully put together image of a perfect relationship began to fall apart. Jared and Angie's new marriage had ended in murder, and it was Jared's parents who discovered the body. What had gone so catastrophically wrong? So was it Jared? And if it was, then why? Join us on The Decoder as we dive into the exclusive footage that documents this tragic crime, the murder of Angie Diaz.
The person accused of killing her is her own husband.
Gruesome scene at best.
The two had only been married a few months.
Many describing her as a young and caring woman who was always smiling.
Co-workers say she'll be dearly missed.
Today, new surveillance video is coming to light showing what Dykes was doing the day that his wife's body was found.
The family tells me they're so grateful for the community's support and outpouring of love. They say they hope to get her body back to Nicaragua, where she will be laid to rest.
And tonight, it's where those who knew her best gathered for a somber remembrance.
In the center is Angie Diaz's bike, which she would ride each day from her house to the meat market where she worked. Danny Diaz says this is the worst thing that could happen to a mother.
This case takes us to the rural outskirts of Magnolia, Texas. Named for the beautiful magnolia trees in the area, it's 45 miles northwest of Houston, and it was a dry city until 2011, when the sale of alcohol was made legal. As a small, relatively peaceful place, any violent crime would rock the community to its core, and the Dykeses never expected to be at the heart of a horrifying turn of events. When Rodney and Lynn Dykes called the police, it didn't take them long to arrive. They'd been to the Dykes property before, and they knew the family well. Rodney, Lynn, and their sons, Wayne and Jared. Wayne was 25, and Jared was 21. But none of their previous dealings with the family could prepare the first responders for what they'd find in the small property around the back of the house.
I could see into the house, the front door was open. There looked to be like a towel on the floor and pink socks from what I could originally see. As I began to step up the steps, I could see underneath the towel there looked like blood.
The medical first responder hesitated on the scene, not wanting to contaminate a possible crime scene.
Because we had no information, didn't know what had happened. Had she committed suicide with a shotgun? What we were walking into. There was a desk immediately to the right of me when I walked in the door. Looked like it had a computer on it, and as I looked around the desk, I could see her feet. Stepped in further, and I could see the rest of the body, and then I realized the patient did not have a head.
The paramedics backed off. This wasn't a patient. This was a dead body, and the house was indeed a crime scene. So now it was the cops' turn.
She was just
Decapitated. She's got stab wounds to her back. Her head's in the bathtub.
The floor of the main room was covered in blood. Angie's body lay there, headless, surrounded by cigarette butts and blood-stained clothes. The murder weapon, a blood-stained knife, also lay by her body, and the police followed bloody footprints from the bedroom into the bathroom, where they found the most gruesome sight of all, Angie's cut-off head in the bathtub. Angie's husband, 21-year-old Jared, was on the scene, and the cops took him into custody immediately. There seemed no question he was in some way involved in his wife's death. At the very least, he knew about it, according to his mom.
He told me it happened this morning.
Who told you?
Jared.
Okay.
And he has been acting really strange lately.
Strange behavior didn't necessarily add up to a murder, but it wasn't a good sign. They asked Jared's brother, Wayne, about Angie.
Wayne, can we visit for a second? I got a question when you got time. Miss Angie, do you know what her last name was before she and your brother got married?
What's Angie's last name? Do you know? Her maiden last name? I don't know.
Okay. How about a date of birth?
Here's her phone.
Here, let me see.
Let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Spanish, so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to touch this either here. So, I don't want fingerprints on it. Anyways.
That's all you know about her?
Yeah, I just know she worked over there. I know she was.
Makes sense.
Chepis Meat Market.
The Cheppies?
That's where they met. Yeah. I know she's here.
Did she still work at Cheppies?
Yeah. I know she's not really a legal citizen. I'm just saying.
I don't care.
No, I don't care either. I mean,
okay.
She's family, man.
Okay.
This questioning disturbed the family.
Are we all suspects?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is just standard.
Oh, this is just so nothing gets out, because we've already had somebody pull up here.
Yes,
we've already got people pulling up that have already heard about it. So that's what we're just trying to prevent anything else from getting out so we can do a proper investigation.
They weren't suspects, not the way Jared was, sitting in the back of the police cruiser with his hands cuffed. He knew the cop who came to talk to him already.
Jared, would you mind giving me the passcode to your phone? It's supposed to be a 6-digit code.
For now, they just needed procedural details, like Angie's date of birth and an ID for her body. And these cops, who knew the Dykuses so well, were still shell-shocked by what they'd found.
But when I heard possible VOA at 2060 Apollo, I thought it was
this guy does like
the brother that's sitting up down in the carport. I just figured he'd OD. Yeah, I didn't think this other one would be involved.
Jared's older brother, Wayne, had a history of using meth. This was why he'd had brushes with law enforcement in the past, starting in 2018 when he was just 20. But it wasn't Wayne sitting in the back of the police cruiser today. It was Jared, who was barely old enough to drink. Born in 2001, Jared had lived in the Houston area all his life. He'd attended Waller High School, where he'd played football. As the cops' comments showed, he seemed to be an ordinary kid. He was responsible, and he seemed to care deeply about his troubled older brother. Jared worked as an electrician, and apparently Wayne had once stolen some copper wire from him. Jared called the police on him, but later he seemed to regret doing so. It was clear Wayne's drug use caused strain in the family, and if they expected anyone to do something drastic, it would have been Wayne, not Jared, who'd met Angie Diaz purely by accident at the Cheppies Meat Market in 2022 where she worked, a chance meeting that seemed like fate. Angie was born in October 2001 in Nicaragua. Her biological mom was a single mother, raising Angie and her siblings alone and having to work to support them. At times, she would leave Angie and her other kids with her sister while she worked in Costa Rica, sending money back home.
I arrived. Well, we came back from Costa Rica. We return every few months to see our children. We work, and then we go back again.
She would go and come back months at a time and come back to see her kids.
She was a dedicated mother, and she passed that dedicated, hard-working attitude on to Angie. Angie was an ambitious young woman with an academic mindset. She studied accounting at the National Autonomous University of Nicaragua at León while living with her adoptive mother. Her biological mother by this point had gone to the U.S. to work, leaving her kids behind for a more stable existence. But when Angie was 18, her aunt, almost her adoptive mother by this point, was diagnosed with cancer, and her biological mom paid to bring her and her brothers across the Mexican border into the U.S.
Welcome, Lurking Linda. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
As undocumented immigrants. She arrived in Texas and took a job as a cashier at the meat market, while also promoting her skills as a personal trainer on her social media. She seemed to be happy in her life and excited to see where it would go, while sending money back for her aunt's cancer treatments. She shared posts in Spanish that said things like, "Celebrate your own victories, because no one else understands what it took for you to achieve them." Angie's mother was wary of her ambition.
I was living in an apartment with them, the same place I've always lived. I went to pick her up because that's where they handed her over to me, the person who brought her. Then we lived in Houston. And what worried her the most was that she came with dreams. She immediately wanted to work. She wanted us to start working right away to pay things off, to handle everything. But I told her to have patience and to take her time. I was working and I told her that God would provide work, that things would come in time, but we only had one car, and that made things difficult.
But Angie was adamant. She wasn't going to work the cash desk for long. No, Angie had ambitions and a bright future. She figured Jared into this future as soon as she met him. As a former football player, he came across as exciting and impressive, as she fell head over heels for him. Their social media posts together were full of devotion. They got married in October 2022, around the time of Angie's 21st birthday. It was a whirlwind romance. According to one of Angie's closest friends, she'd previously been dating a man called Jose and had been planning to marry him in the U.S.
Does she know what happened with that? Can she tell us with that relationship?
He says, can you let me know? Can you tell me? What is the relationship like?
Well, what she told me was that yes, everything was fine, but in the end, she was going to marry her former boyfriend.
She said everything was good, and she was gonna get married to the ex below.
Well, I told her that afterwards I would help her with the preparations and everything. Then suddenly she said she wasn't going to get married anymore. And suddenly we understand what happened because she is no longer going to comply.
She said that she told her and that she was going to help her out with the decoration and so forth and this and that to help her out. And then all of a sudden, she told her she was not going to get married.
After she said she wasn't going to get married, she gave a reason.
Yes, she told me, and I asked her, but why? If she was so happy that she was going to get married, and she told me no, that the boyfriend had changed. He had become very distant. He wasn't paying attention to her. And well, I advised her a lot because I'm a bit older than her. So I advised her and told her that if she didn't feel good with him, it would be better to end the relationship. Because why would she marry him if they no longer understood each other?
When Jose's personality had changed towards Angie, she got cold feet and broke off the engagement. This was around the same time that she met Jared. Jared, the All-American varsity football player, the pinnacle of her ambitions in Texas.
When did you meet Jared?
I don't know exactly when, but, well, I mean, I don't know the exact day, but I know they had already been talking for months.
She don't know exactly when, but
He would bring her roses and little gifts. Since we didn't see each other very often, whenever we did, we'd catch up on everything. She'd tell me about her job, and I'd tell her about mine. She would always say he was really sweet to her. She even showed me once when he brought her roses to work. And I thought, oh, how sweet. Everything seemed so perfect in the beginning.
she said everything at the beginning was real nice. She showed her a picture where he had bought flowers. And that's when Angie told her that she was going to get married.
Angie and her mother weren't on such good terms by this stage, maybe because of the conflicts between what Angie wanted to achieve and what her mother thought was possible. Angie was living with her aunt in Waller instead of with her mom in Houston.
Did Angie tell her about getting married to Jared?
La pregunta es, Angie le dijo que se iba a casar. Never.
Even if the two weren't close, it seemed strange that Angie wouldn't share her marriage with her mom. After all, she'd come to the U.S.
Linda, you're on Mama Bear's side, but we're streaming together. We do that usually when we run the show in the morning. But you're showing up on both sides, Linda, but you're on Mama Bear's side. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Either way, whatever side you're on.
to be with her, as well as to earn money and make a life there. Perhaps she wanted to keep her new life separate from her old one, believing it would be so much better, a fresh start. But the couple's idyllic posts on social media hid a darker side to their relationship.
What time of year was it?
Maybe a month or two after they started dating? No. Actually, they had probably been together for more than 6 months as a couple. Then she had an accident, and they wanted to deport her. I imagine they rushed their wedding. I told her that it would be better for them to take their time, to really get to know each other, because rushing into something like that wasn't right. I advised her to set boundaries with him, to make sure he respected her, and not to take things lightly. I had seen many similar cases with other friends when I lived there, women who ended up suffering abuse and mistreatment. That's why I gave her advice, because I wanted the best for her.
She's saying she had an accident, and she believes that they were trying to deport her, and that was one of the reasons why they got married quickly.
A rapid marriage could be a sign of true love or a hastily made mistake. Angie was desperate to stay in the U.S., where she was building a life for herself. She had friends, family, and a job here now. She couldn't just leave, and Jared represented the ideal way to stay. Her uncle, who she briefly lived with, advised against making any rash decisions.
One thing I clarified with her is that you're doing it for feeling or for documents, okay? I'm being straight up with both of you. And I don't, because I don't want you to get married because of documents or just to legalize yourself. Because that's not gonna be any good for you. It's not gonna work. Do it because you're feeling, because you love him and he loves you back. No, we're doing it because of feeling. I love him a lot, and he loves me.
She said she loved Jared, that her marriage was a real marriage, and she wasn't rushing into anything. Her uncle agreed to be a witness, and they got married. When Angie introduced Jared to her friends, all of whom were Spanish-speaking, it didn't go so well.
There were little things that maybe at the time I didn't really notice. But looking back now, analyzing everything and talking with my husband that day, I started to see them. That night, I bought some beers to share, and he was drinking. I noticed that he would get irritated because we were all Hispanic, and he only spoke English. He seemed frustrated that he couldn't understand us, and I could see that she would get nervous, constantly translating for him.
They gave him the nickname Rojo, which means red.
Yeah, you're over here, Linda. I see you right here. You're showing up on mine. That's how I put that up there.
In Spanish, because of his red hair. He couldn't or wouldn't engage in their communication, and sometimes he would leave these gatherings without a word of warning, irritated he couldn't understand. He felt alienated from his wife and her friends.
After she got married?
Yes.
After she got married, she got there. They became very distant.
It was not only Angie's friends, but her boss too, who noticed how her behavior changed after she got married.
It feels like a dream, a nightmare. Ruth Almendares, who worked with Diaz, says she considered Angie to be like a daughter, adding that it was here where she met her husband, Jared Dykes. It wasn't until Angie got married that several co-workers noticed she started to seem unhappy.
She became more withdrawn and nervous at work in the meat market, and Jared came to the counter looking for her constantly. Then, on January 10th, the day before Angie's murder, she came into work, and her boss immediately knew that something was up.
So I asked. They told me, look, talk to Angie.
And then Tuesday.
When I got there on Tuesday, I asked, what happened with Angie? But at first I thought they were going to bring up some kind of work-related issue. Then they told me, no.
She said that her brother had told her you need to talk to Angie, and she was thinking that she might have got a complaint from her.
Angie doesn't look well. Something's wrong with her. She came in on Tuesday, sometime between 1 and 1:30.
Angie didn't look right, didn't seem right. She went and spoke and hung out with Angie, and they spoke. Oh, that's what she noticed, the bruising.
Angie had come into work with a bruise on her shoulder, and it didn't seem to be from a random accident. No, she told another coworker something startling that same day.
So I took the opportunity to stay with her for a while and asked, "Hey, what's wrong? What happened to you?" There was another coworker in the kitchen, Erica.
Erica was there.
And that's when she told us she was going to separate from him.
She told her and Erica that she was going to separate.
She told both of us that she was leaving him and that she would never get married again. I asked her, was it really that bad? Has it been that terrible for you? Why? That's when I got closer, lifted her shirt a little and told her, you can't let this keep happening.
And that's when she got close and the clothing to the side.
But she didn't just infer that Jared had hit her.
She told me more things that same day, but after that, I went home and we didn't talk again. We were supposed to go out for coffee on Friday because she didn't work that day. She had the afternoon off. She told me she wanted to talk to me because at work, at the register, she couldn't say much. There were always people around. That was Tuesday afternoon when she told me this. And you know, it's a shame that at the register there are no microphones, just cameras. We checked the footage and you can see us talking, but you can't hear what she told me. I had wanted that recording as proof of what she said. When we saw the bruises, we asked her, what happened to you? She said they had been arguing all night. That's why she looked so bad on Monday.
Yeah, she checked the video footage where they were talking, but there was no audio, so she was trying to get the audio and the video and then it to you.
Does she know how Angie got that bruise?
When you saw those bruises, did Angie tell you how that happened to her?
She said they had been arguing all night. And that was the reason she looked really bad on Monday, because that was Sunday. She went to the movies on Monday. She looked bad because she hadn't slept all night and hadn't been allowed to sleep.
They had been arguing on Sunday night, and she got no sleep. She said she was taking a shower, and they'd been arguing. And then when she got out of the shower, she was assaulted by the husband.
And for what reason? Did he say he hit her?
Who?
The husband. Why?
Supposedly, she had gone out with her aunt on Sunday.
Because she had gone out with her aunt, and he didn't want her to go with anybody, not even her aunt.
This seemed to be a breaking point for Angie and the supposedly happy couple.
She said she wasn't going to live the way he wanted her to live. And the reason again, because she had gone out with her aunt. And then she said, well, she had told her that she was going to separate. She wasn't going to live the way she was living.
So she told him that she wanted to separate him, or she just told? So she didn't technically tell him that she was moving out. She told him she wasn't going to live like that and told her, I'm going to leave him.
But the real question is, did she tell her husband for sure?
Yes.
She said yes, she told her husband also.
Jared was in a volatile place going into 2023. In November, he'd been arrested for driving while intoxicated. The police had been called on him because he was acting aggressively towards people working in a local Whataburger restaurant. When the police arrived, he refused to calm down, and he was taken into custody. He punched windows and had to be placed in a restraint chair so the police could take a blood sample for DNA. In January 2023, he was out on bond for this crime, and his erratic behavior hadn't stopped. Angie didn't tell Jared's mom, Lynn, that she was scared of Jared, but her behavior said otherwise.
Also, the last week, he's been wanting to stay in the house.
With y'all?
Yes, and not out there with her. And he asked.
That's okay, and I hope you feel better, Donkey. It's great to see you today. I hope you're getting better. No worries.
If they could move back in there. So I thought that was odd. After he had just, spent all the money to fix it up. I don't understand why he didn't want to stay there anymore. It was all very strange. It's been like a week.
Angie had requested that Jared stop sleeping in the same house as her. This wasn't the request of a couple living in domestic bliss. No, something was seriously wrong between the two of them. Just before midnight on January 8th, 3 days before Angie's murder, the Waller County Police Department received a strange call.
Waller County 911.
Yes, this is Jared Dykes.
Hello?
Yes.
Waller County, go ahead.
I did a little bit of drugs and I need help. I'm at Cisco Call Boulevard.
Okay, and what's the problem?
I just don't feel well.
Okay, and you said you took drugs?
No, ma'am. I'm completely sorry. I don't know why I called.
Okay, but do you need an ambulance or no? Are you good?
I need an ambulance.
The dispatcher sent paramedics to his location, but a few minutes later he called again, saying the same thing.
I did some drugs yesterday and I don't feel well. And I didn't do any drugs. I don't know. I'm sorry.
When the paramedics got to him, they took him into hospital. He'd been using methamphetamine, his older brother's drug of choice. This devastated his parents.
He kept saying that he was on meth. And then you would start grilling him about it, and then he would say, I'm not on meth. I just told you that. But we had some experience with meth use, me and the wife. Not personal experience, but we had some experience going through family members on meth and dealing with them in the past, and it's horrible. It's awful. You and I've had this conversation before. That was your other son. That was my other son. And when Jared told us a couple of days ago that he was using meth now, that he had gone and gotten meth, and that's what was wrong with him, it just broke my heart because that's the son that didn't do that stuff. Okay, he wasn't a perfect kid. He had some problems with alcohol. Not problems with alcohol, but when he would go out with his friends or something, that was a problem because he would drink too much. Right. But on a day-to-day basis, he didn't drink. I mean, when he had to work, he didn't mess around. He wasn't. But when he was off, the party was on. You know, it was okay to party.
Where Angie was during all of this wasn't clear, but the night of this 911 call was the same night she said he'd hit her, the Sunday before her death. Had he been acting under the influence of substances? And was it those same substances that would drive him to kill his 21-year-old wife? On January 11th, Jared had returned from work at around 4 in the morning. He went into his house around the back of his parents' property, and they didn't see him again until 12:30 p.m. that day. When he did come back to their house, his mom, Lynn, heard an unfamiliar phone ringing.
And we noticed that he had a phone that didn't look right. And what I mean by that is it didn't look like it was his phone. So we started questioning him about the phone. We didn't. Lynn started questioning him about the phone. And she finally got him to pull his phone out of his pocket, his front pant pocket. And it wasn't his phone. And she's like, whose phone is that? That's not your phone. No, I have multiple phones.
But she knew that wasn't true, so she asked to see it. When he brought it out, she found that the phone's language was in Spanish.
She said, that looks like Angie's. And that's when we jumped up and I said, oh my God, what's going on? And we ran out there. That's when we called. That's when I called 911.
Immediately, she knew it had to be Angie's. Angie usually kept her phone with her, and worried by their son's erratic behavior, Lynn and Rodney went over to the house to check on her.
I know this part is difficult, but when you went out, both you and your wife run out there? Okay, and there's only one entrance, and that's the front, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so when you walked in there, what did you see?
I opened the door and I walked in and you couldn't see anything, and I took a step in and I saw him laying on the floor. And that's when I told my wife, I said, you don't want to come in here, and she came in. And I said, call 911, and I knew she wasn't going to be able to. Okay. I grabbed my phone and I started calling.
Where was Jared at that time?
He was in the house, laying in the floor crying.
In Jared and Angie's house, they'd found Angie's murdered body. And they did the only thing they could. They called 911 on their own son. Not only was Jared the likely suspect because he was the victim's husband, he had also been documented as acting strangely and sometimes violently, and he was in possession of Angie's phone. For these reasons, he was taken into custody. The police's working theory was that this was the final culmination of escalating tension in their relationship. She'd wanted to leave him, and he'd killed her rather than allowing her to do so. But first, they sat down to interview him.
So, it's my understanding you were just in the hospital, is that right?
Yes, and after that, I started feeling weird.
What were you in the hospital for? Okay.
Because of our substance.
What was it? Meth, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that something you use a lot, or just dabble, or? Okay. Until recently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you used again since then? Okay. Meth, or something different? Okay.
A possible defense narrative began to present itself. Jared claimed he'd never used meth before that final Sunday, just a few days before Angie's death. Had it acted on him to change his behavior, make him lose control?
Do you want to tell me what happened?
Jared's long silence here was almost more telling than the answer might have been. Of course, he had the right to remain silent, but his body language was full of stress.
And it's a matter of how and what your mindset was, what your thought process was, what caused it. Did she make you mad? What happened?
Did you love her?
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. His answer wasn't clear, and he wasn't being cooperative.
What time did you get home from work? 5. Was she awake or was she asleep? Do you not know, or are you just refusing the answer?
I'm just refusing the answer.
Okay.
Did she do something bad to you or something? Did she deserve that? Something
Just to control.
Police investigators have a number of different methods they use to try to get a suspect to talk. Here, they appealed to the helplessness of his situation.
Hey, Phil's in the house. Good to see you, Phil. Thank you for joining us. Also, Miss Julianne, great to see you as well. Anybody else that's popped in here? Amor, great to see you. Walt, welcome back. Raquel, if I didn't see you earlier, hon, good to see you again. Did I miss anybody else? I hope not. If I did, I'll catch up. And wonderful to see you, Phil. We've missed you so very much. Great to see you.
And the tragedy of his wife's death, hoping to see some remorse.
This isn't going to go away. I'll tell you that. You can stonewall us if you want to. There's a lot of people that are brokenhearted tonight. Your family, her family, and it's not going away. And you caused that. And the only way to give anybody closure and ease some of the pain is to take accountability and tell us what happened. And
This got through to Jared, but not in the way that they'd hoped it would.
I did drugs and I was up for like 2 weeks. I just forgot who I lived in the city was. Jesus Christ. Lost my way. I just want to tell everybody I'm very sorry. Sorry, I tell you.
Help us understand. Tell us why you're sorry. Tell us what occurred for this tragic ending to happen. What happened? What was going on?
Just drugs, man. You gotta stay away from drugs.
Well, I understand that. So you did it, and tell us what happened after you did it.
Drugs just make you go crazy. It makes you really sorry.
He was implying that he'd done it, but they needed him to admit it outright. Then he said something startling.
so saying I'm sorry but refusing to talk and take ownership of what you did, that's not good enough.
I just lost my way. I lost my way with God.
That's clear. We're not asking for generalities, and we're not asking about your personal relationship with God. Obviously, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for everybody. That's not a question. Nobody has a perfect relationship with Him. But we're going to ask you one last time what happened. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But your opportunity to have any kind of looking like a good guy of, this is what I did and I'm sorry and I can't believe I did it, that door is closing on you.
Look, I didn't do it.
You can't even keep a straight face, buddy.
Jared made a cursory attempt at denying it, like he felt like he ought to try. And he laughed. Laughed at how ridiculous it was to say it hadn't been him. Laughed also at his predicament. Maybe laughed at what he'd done to Angie. But this was no laughing matter. He began to talk about a voice he'd heard, something on his TV screen.
What did it force you to do to her? What did it force you to do to your wife?
It forced me.
To what?
To kill her.
Why? What did it tell you to do to her? Did it tell you how to kill her?
Yes.
So how did you kill her? Tell us how you killed her.
I don't know because it wasn't Jared. It wasn't Jared.
He admitted he'd killed her, but claimed he didn't remember how, that he'd been disassociated from himself at the time. But this wasn't true. He did remember.
Let me tell you, what did you do?
What you saw.
What did I see? Tell me what I saw. I'm asking you.
That's what it's been to.
And made you cut her head off.
Jared was finally cracking under the pressure. He admitted that Angie had been awake when he got home from work in the early hours, and that they'd talked. This part at least seemed true. If Jared had been violent with Angie before, it seemed reasonable that she'd grab a weapon to protect herself when they started arguing. Little did she know that this would be a fateful mistake, and that that same knife would be used against her.
Did you cut her head off while she was still alive? Yes. There were other stabbings on her body. Did you do that after you cut her head off? Or before?
Oh. Before or afterwards, just now?
You just told me before. Why did you put her head in the bathtub?
You told me.
Her hair was wet. How come? Did you turn the shower on?
Yes.
To wash yourself or to wash her hair or what?
To wash.
Though Jared stated he'd been in some sort of fugue when he killed Angie, he'd still had the presence of mind to try and clean himself up, to cover the tracks of his crime. This apparent lack of control was a lie.
Did you have plans on hurting your mom or your dad when you went over to their house? There were no voices that told you to hurt them?
There's voices that tell me to shoot.
To shoot yourself? Why didn't you? Where was it done? You weren't going to hurt your parents. So you could control that. You could control not hurting them.
If he could stop the voices from making him kill his parents, why couldn't he stop them from making him kill Angie? There was no explanation as to why, but it raised questions about his reasoning for the attack. Here, the interview terminated. He was left alone in the interview room, and his body language was as telling as it had been earlier. He curled up on the floor in the fetal position, as if to comfort himself in the extremes of his guilt. But he hadn't shown this guilt earlier that day. In fact, he'd been caught on CCTV in the meat market where Angie worked, where the couple had first met, at 12:49 p.m., walking casually towards the fridges to get a beer. He'd killed his wife only 8 hours earlier, and here he was stealing a beer from her workplace as if to celebrate. He walked straight past the counter and opened it in the parking lot. Then he drove home, where his crime would unravel, and under threat of exposure, he would begin to panic, and he was guilty. Worse, his whole family knew it. Even on that first 911 call, his father had cried about how this could have been prevented.
Oh my God, please hurry. There's something wrong with my son. Oh my God, I told him in the hospital to keep him. Oh my God, I told him that. I told him that 2 days ago to keep him.
His father seemed to believe that something was wrong with his son to cause him to do this. And indeed, Jared's mental competency became an issue during his prosecution. But a court-ordered evaluation of his mental faculties found that he was competent to stand trial, and so he pleaded guilty to Angie's murder. As part of his agreement, he waived all rights to appeal the verdict. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison in August 2024. But why did he do it? He claimed it was a drug-induced psychotic break, and he did test positive for cocaine and marijuana, though not amphetamines. But their rushed marriage, Angie's vulnerable dependence on him as her way out of getting deported, and suggestions of abuse all implied that this awful killing wasn't just out of the blue. She had her whole life ahead of her, full of ambition, and it was ended in the crazed attack of a single morning.
We want to honor Angie. Queremos orar a Angie. We want to celebrate her life today.
Remembering Angie Diaz with music, prayer, and memories of the 21-year-old who was killed January 11. Her family coming to terms with her murder. She didn't deserve to die like this, a pastor said. Her aunt shared a few words, saying she was an angel sent by God who touched everyone she met with her contagious joy and smile. She says those who met her will forever hold a piece of her in them. Angie's death was tragic. Her family has said they have no room for hate in their hearts.
But the reality is that bad things do affect happens to good people.
The family says they're thankful for the community's outpouring of support during this difficult time for them. Incredible is how they describe it.
Una luz bella, bella.
A beautiful light is how they'll remember her.
Para nosotros no es un adiós.
They say it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later when they meet again.
What do you think about this tragic story? Why did he do it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe, keep up with our channel, and we'll see you very soon on The Decoder.
What do you think of that, Mama Bar?
That was crazy, and don't do drugs.
Yeah, right. Right. That's pretty much the message of the day.
Yes.
Stay away, stay away. Craziness, craziness, craziness. It is wild. It's definitely wild. And like I said, Texas. I had another little segment here. I wanted to show you guys real quick pieces of this. This is considered to be the top 8 shocking bad parents caught on body cam, guys. This is pretty wild stuff. Hey, Val. Good to see you, dear. Thanks.
Hey,
Bryan.
Val.
Thank you guys for being here again. We're moving on to this, and then we're going to bounce into some other stuff that we do. So make sure you have a box of Kleenex near, because, of course, we're going to look at that today. Sorry, Alicia. This is pretty interesting stuff here. Anthony Muro, thank you for joining us, my friend. Good to see you. All right, let's see what we got, guys. Check it out.
You didn't get your kids? Yeah, from school. You can't get your kids, man. You have cuts and you just hit a wall.
I don't want any trouble, guys. I appreciate everybody's help. There's really not a big deal. Baby's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
So you're saying this meeting was so important that you're willing to risk your dog's life over?
No.
Left the kid in the damn road?
Yeah, he said he wanted to kick him out in the pursuit. I don't know how long the kid's been out here.
Parenting's never a walk in the park, but when police have to step in, you know things may have gone too far. We're counting down 8 shocking moments where parents made choices so reckless, they put their custody and their kids on the line. Welcome to After Hours, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sam Kohberger. We begin today's episode in Edgewater, New Jersey. It's barely midday on Halloween, and one mom's already deep in mischief, only to get a sharp reminder it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Police race to the scene on Route 5, where they find 30-year-old Ashley Alvarez barely conscious from a head-on collision into a massive rock.
Are you all right? You okay? Stay still, you okay? No, okay, I'm trying, hang on. Put your legs on that side, put your legs on that side. Stay right there. Stay right there.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
You're breathing. You're talking.
I can't breathe.
Relax.
My chest.
Relax.
My chest.
Okay, calm down. Driver's injured. Can you also send an officer up here? You okay? Stay right there. I have the ambulance coming. We're police. Stay right there, okay? You're fine. Stay right there. Don't pull me. You're fine.
I can't breathe. Why you
You're speaking. You're okay. You're okay. Stay calm. I'm just gonna ask you.
Oh,
Stay right there. I'm gonna get oxygen on you, but you're talking, so you're breathing.
It's
Just stay
hurting
calm.
It's hurting me.
Okay, relax.
Oh, I can't breathe.
You're breathing, man. Just calm down, okay?
Patrolwoman Cabrera tries to treat Ashley and calm her down, hoping to piece together what happened.
What happened? I'm gonna give you oxygen, okay? Can't move. Don't move. Just stay laying down. You gotta stay calm. You gotta stay calm. Stay right there. Take a couple deep breaths. The ambulance is coming right now. Is anybody else in the car? I just want to double check. No? Okay. All right. It hurts a lot. Be okay. You wanted oxygen. Hang on. Just take a couple good breaths. Where are you coming from? Talk to me. Where did you come from? Couldn't also do this so far. Stay like that. What's up? What's up?
Am I getting wine?
Well, did you drink?
A little bit, but I lied.
Just stay there. I'm more worried about you.
I'm okay.
Alright, they called me.
I'm trying to talk to you.
I'm trying to talk to you. You don't need to grab me that. I'm trying to talk to you. What happened?
I went to go make a right. I left.
Okay.
And someone just like went really fast and went to hit me. So
Where'd you want to make a left where?
I don't remember exactly the street, but when I said they like went.
Okay, where did you come from? Where did you just come from?
George Street.
From where?
From George Street.
Where's George Street? What town is that?
It's Street Town.
Where were you drinking now? At a house? At a bar?
No, I'm at home.
You drinking home?
I'm not gonna stop in the drink.
Okay.
Now I'm about to go pick up my kids.
Okay.
So I have to go.
One car MPA.
Ashley insists that she's fine despite the visual injuries and is fully capable of picking her kids up from school.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna check you because you're bleeding, okay?
Alright. Hey, I'm okay. I didn't get my kids.
You didn't get your kids?
Yeah, from school.
You can't get get your kids, man. You have cuts and you just hit a wall. Alright? We gotta get you checked out. You admitted that you've been drinking, okay?
Yes, but it's not like a possibility.
So we were literally just right here on this traffic. All of a sudden I hear boom. She admits that she was drinking. She goes, am I gonna get a Pee-wee? I go, have you been drinking? She's like, yeah, I had a couple drinks. When I opened the door, she was slumped over into the passenger seat.
Jillian.
Have a seat here. Okay, it doesn't matter right now. No, my kids matter more than me. I understand that. But you understand that? My kids matter more than me.
You need do you need a kit? Or I need a...
my phone.
One of us has to go with her. Okay, so I'm going to park your car off to the side and everything like that.
Patrolwoman Bringus clears the vehicle from the road, then turns right back to confront the distraught mother to get some answers.
The phone is not in the back. It's in the car. Where? It's in the car. Where? Where do you have it? Obviously, it might as well thrown somewhere. No, I'm saying, but where did you have it? I had it in front of me for that situation. Okay, now see all that stuff?
She said her phone was in the front.
There it is.
Yeah, we looked everywhere under the seat. We can't find it. Are you sure it's not on the first one?
Keep this arm still.
I got it.
You just have something to drink? Do you have high blood pressure?
Yeah, your phone's not back here. And we checked all the right above your head. Just try to breathe, okay?
Can you just get my number down and things?
Oh, yeah.
No, I just had to buy my phone.
Is your ID?
It's on my phone, man.
What?
It's on my phone.
No, you did it. What's your phone number?
What's the school number? Huh? What's the school number?
Police contact the children's school, warning them of the situation to ensure the kids' safety.
If they get picked up late, it's like a whole demerit. And then
Yeah, we're gonna try to again contact your friend, okay?
they don't get to go on their trips. And
You
then
going with us?
Yep.
Okay, we're
We
gonna
just updating Lieutenant Dawn.
it's serious. Their schools are chartered.
Yeah, we're gonna try to contact your friend.
No, I don't know. It hurts a lot right here. There's a lot right here.
Right there? And that just came out of nowhere after the accident, right? Okay. Does it hurt when you breathe?
Yeah.
Okay. When you breathe in?
Yeah.
Is it towards your ribs?
Right here. Yeah.
Like right here?
Okay.
Does it hurt more in the middle?
All of it. From here.
Alright.
Okay.
Due to Ashley's injuries, no field sobriety tests were administered. She was transported to the hospital where they later determined she had internal bleeding. Ashley was charged with driving under the influence, reckless driving, and careless driving. No information could be found to determine the outcome of this case. at the time of this recording. Next, we head to Palm Coast, Florida, where an unsupervised toddler sparks enough concern among neighbors to prompt a call to the police.
Like a 911, what's the location emergency?
I found a little boy in the road.
Are you with the child now?
Yes, I am. I walked up to the house that I believe he lives in, which is the front door's wide open. There's crap all over.
Is there a vehicle in the driveway?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Flagler County deputies arrived to investigate why a 2-year-old child is wandering alone in the middle of the street wearing a heavily soiled diaper. Witnesses claim the allegedly intoxicated father, 44-year-old Ross Judy, was passed out inside, completely unaware his child was out of the home. Deputies reunite the boy with his father, hoping for a reasonable explanation.
Yeah, he got out, walked around. Got out and walked around? Yeah, when I was in the bathroom. Okay. Is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. Were you out here earlier with him or no? Yeah. Yeah, we just got up this morning and then he's 2.5 now. Okay. So he knows how to like unlock doors. Okay. He just figured all that stuff out, so he just went out here. I was like, dang, dude. We don't even stay here, so.
You don't stay here?
No.
Where do you live?
My parents' house is where he.
Where is that?
Up at the hammock.
So what are you doing here?
We just stopped here this morning.
Where's here?
The dog out. It's my house.
I've been here before and you lived here.
At the time I stayed here by myself. Yeah. Not him.
You exchanged your child here to your wife.
Yeah.
Your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Congrats, Ro. Happy Dago birthday, 20 months. That's amazing, Rowena. Thank you so much for being part of this community. And we appreciate you so much. God bless. This is crazy. Like, dude, wake up. Get your head out of your a-hole, please. Just a little guy. This is ridiculous.
Is she coming to pick him up today or?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Why didn't you come out the door that you went in when I saw you when I walked up?
Because I was out there going out this way to see what's going on.
No, I think you knew what was going on.
I didn't know there was like a bunch of people here.
No.
I was just kind of assessing
So
the
when they
situation
back
with him.
2-year-old that was walking in the street, and then you saw me standing in the driveway. I'm wearing a
I'm just,
uniform.
brother, I'm
and you
just
went
a dude
inside,
whose
and then you
kid
shut
just.
the door, and then you won't open the door when I knock 10 times. That
We were
that's
outside
because
on the
when
back
you came
patio.
out,
I was
you
seeing
came
what
out
was
the
going on.
side over here because you just didn't
I
know
don't
what was
want
going on.
any trouble, guys. I appreciate everybody's help. There's really not a big deal.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yes.
Not a big deal.
I just want to let everybody know that the baby's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
The deputies gather Ross's personal information and ask clarifying questions about the custody agreement of his 2-year-old between him and his wife.
That's what happens when the dog gets killed by the neighbor and the wife leaves with the baby. The house goes to hell, and then the baby ends up making a scene.
The baby makes a scene. Not you, but the baby. Good God. Hey, Leslie. Good to see you, dear.
No points for that.
With the father's side of the story in hand, one deputy heads over to the reporting neighbor's house, eager to piece together a full picture of what's going on.
Y'all need to take that kid.
Can you tell me what happened?
About 20 minutes before we called, I saw the baby wandering around here. Well, I figured Ross was in his driveway.
Okay.
You know, I just said, oh, Ross is out letting the kid walk around. Well, you know, there's not much traffic. I think this is Sunday. All of a sudden, I see this car slowing down, stopped. Another one. I went, oh, God. And I went, oh, and I went out there, and sure enough, that baby was out there. 20 minutes later, he's inside, passed out because he's a horrible drunk. That house needs to be condemned. Chamber.
All right.
Have a
Well,
nice
thank
day.
you.
But yeah, he was in his nursery watching Cocomelon. And then...
Where's that in relation to the house here?
Where I was, it's on the other end of the hallway. But I'd like to just... It's okay. We're gonna be okay. No one's gonna take you away.
So you're
I went to my bedroom. I went to my bedroom from my bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
not realizing that he was freaking outside. Like.
So you weren't asleep or anything like that?
No.
I also want to thank Upside for sponsoring After Hours. Upside's a free app.
He opened the deadbolt somehow.
The deadbolt?
Yes.
How high?
There's no way in hell that baby opened a deadbolt. I'm sorry. Hey, Kaylee, good to see you, dear. Stop your lies, bro.
Is this deadbolt?
It's about right here.
How
He reached
can he-
up and got it.
How you said about right here?
Yeah.
And he's about right here. How
He
could he
can
reach
reach.
that?
He can reach.
Is there a step stool or something? Like,
I don't know what he did. I'm telling you, I deadbolt that door at night, of course. I'm the father of a 2.5-year-old. You think I'm not going to leave the deadbolt on? The door doesn't even latch otherwise. I don't know. Like I said, he's long for a 2.5-year-old. He's got some reach.
so he's never tried to open this deadbolt before?
No, we're not here very often. We're not here often. He stayed most of the time at my parents' house when he's with me. For this very reason. Because I have a pool that is unmaintained. I can't afford to maintain
So
it.
why are you guys here now?
Well, we spent the night here last night.
Okay.
So I wanted to, it's my last night with my son.
Okay.
I wanted to just be with my son. That's it. I just wanted to be with my son. I'm sorry he got out in the street, and I'm sorry the neighbors obviously flipped out. She would have
Well,
done
they're
right.
saying he's been out here for over 20 minutes. So that's my concern.
I'm not aware of how long it was. I can't tell you. I don't know what 20 minutes is to other people, but I don't think it's that long. But
that's what they're saying.
well, I thought he was in his bedroom watching Cocomelon for 20 minutes. It's okay, buddy. We're not gonna take care of it, okay? It'll be okay. I just want to. All I know is that I'm glad that public service has helped me get my kid back into my arms. I'm glad that my neighbors helped out. And I just want to move on and get the rest of my weekend with my son in. Because I'm just a dad who misses his little boy. And I only get so much time with him. He's well fed. We went miniature golfing yesterday. I'll take you through some photos in my phone which will let you know that he's a well taken care of little boy. His pajamas don't match. That's fine.
That's not our concern right now. Like,
I understand.
I can see that he's well fed.
He's not he doesn't live here. He's not even, he's my son. I only see him part time. If this turns into something else, I'm never going to see him again. And it's not because of any domestic issue or anything else. It's because her and her mother decided that they wanted to move to DeLand with my son and say goodbye to me and take this baby and run with him. And I get him, luckily, because his mother is decent enough to still let me spend time with him. I mean, how can I screw this up in 3 days a month or 3 days twice a month? You know, I'm somehow managed.
Okay, well, I asked you earlier how long it was, and you said it couldn't have been more than a minute.
Only a few minutes. I didn't realize it was out here that long. I don't know what you said that,
they
but
said it's been over 20 minutes. And who knows how long he was really out here, because that's just when she noticed him out here. So
well, I remember when he woke up, like I said, I thought that he was in his bedroom watching Cocomelon. I could hear the music going, and as long as the song is going, because I don't even have internet, I just use my
Has his
phone.
pamper been changed?
Last night, right before bed.
It's after 9 a.m.
Right.
Okay.
He was going to be doing
What
all
time
these
did he
things.
go to bed?
He went to bed about 9 p.m. 9:30.
What time did you wake up?
So the dude's been in the same diaper for well over 12 hours now. Come on now, bub.
This morning about, what time is it now?
It's 9:20.
About 8:15, 8:30. Right before he got outside. Yeah, grandma's house. We're going to grandma's house.
So, based on the totality of the circumstances, do you mind if we just go inside, double check the welfare, the living situations? I know
We don't live here. He does not live here. We were just stopped here last night, and we ended up staying here.
I know, but he's your child. You said you have him
Right.
for a certain amount of days.
I'm not okay with that. Because of the fact that I have a dog that's not well, he smells bad, he's got an ear infection.
Well, we're worried about your son, not your dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if a child is staying here, no matter if it's for a day or if it's for 6 months,
or a few hours.
yeah, there needs to be some sort of
we camp out in my
steps to
truck
take
most
care
of the time.
of the child.
You camp out in your truck most of the time?
Well, like a lot of times
So-
with him, we just hang out in my truck. I try to spend as little time here as possible. I only meet my ex here to transfer the child on
Okay.
most occasions because it's midway.
Well, because of everything that occurred today, we need to check out the welfare of the home.
I don't want anyone coming in the house right now.
And why is that?
Because I've been staying with my parents. I normally stay with my parents.
Okay, but last night you stayed here with the child.
Right.
And this is your residence.
We spent a few hours here between like 10 p.m., 9:30 p.m., and 9:30 a.m.
That's a long time.
So does he have like a bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we confirm that? Just the living situation of him?
Yeah.
To confirm?
I carried him in, and he stayed in his room.
Yeah, can we confirm that he has like a proper bed? He has proper.
Come on. Just one of you, please.
Well, there's gonna be 2 of us at least. Okay.
Deputies step inside the house and assess the conditions, and what they find is enough to raise some serious concerns.
Ross, can you come over here for a sec?
Looks like I'm in trouble.
Yeah. We're gonna find out. What's grandparents' phone number?
What am I being charged with?
I'll explain in a second. Explain to Dan.
I need to grab 2 things before if we have to leave.
What do you
I'm
have to
being
grab?
arrested.
What
My
do you have to grab?
medication and hopefully my
You can't bring
phone.
medication with you. So.
Well, I gotta take it first.
What is grandma's name?
They have medication.
Huh?
What's his grandma's name? Last name?
Yeah, that was not good, Alicia.
Anderson.
If I'm going to be in jail,
Buddy, come over here.
I'll have to get out. I have a key to my work vehicle, a few things to worry about.
Hey, bud. Come here, buddy.
We're gonna also have to call out.
Yeah, it was going to be. I was going to return the dog and just. What do you call that?
Did that dog ever leave that cage?
Yeah,
Okay.
he does, but like because he runs, he was in it. That's why we were here last night to let him out and give him food.
Mm-hmm.
How far is your wife away?
47 miles to land.
But the grandparents live across the
7
bridge.
miles away. They're right up the road. They'll be happy to take them.
Okay, we'll call both. We're gonna walk over to my car, right?
Okay, just can I grab my meds?
No,
No, jail has medications.
Okay.
Your house keys on this?
Well, can I get my phone at least?
Is this your house?
Okay, you said you didn't know where it was.
No, it's in the house.
All right,
It's
let's
probably
follow you to jail, okay?
between here and bathroom.
Let's go.
Okay, buddy. We'll look for it.
Why is everybody so mad?
Why are we mad? Did you see what the inside of your house looks like?
You think that's proper living situations for a child?
And then your 2-year-old son is in
Well,
the
we go-
middle of a busy street by himself while you're asleep because you're drunk. Then you're gonna ask why you're mad. And then you look inside that house and think a 2-year-old should be living in that house.
You can't even walk without stepping over alcoholic beverages.
Well, no, that's all. That's like I said.
You have a rusty chainsaw outside. You have nothing but broken glass bottles.
No
Inside
screen
of that
on
house
your-
is disgusting.
No screen on
And then
your,
you're asked why I'm mad.
Like I said, we make a beeline.
Have a seat. Okay.
That's it.
And it's always the kids that suffer through this stuff, guys.
Watch your head.
Somebody needs to do something for the dog. I agree, Brian.
Watch your head.
The hell? He picked up a tire too? What was he charged for? Tire must have been rolling down the road on its own or something.
Hey, by the way, what do the body cams we cover on After Hours every week prove? The world is unpredictable and have.
I talked to the deputies over in Palm Coast. I guess.
All right, guys, I think we got one more of these, and then we're moving on, and we're almost done for the day, y'all.
He was found drunk, sleeping at home while
This is the finishing part to this one here.
your grandson was wandering the streets by himself.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, man. So your grandson's with deputies right now, and Ross is going to jail, most likely for a neglect charge. Okay. That being said, we don't want to give the grandchild over to DCF. Are you willing to come take custody of the child? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the means to care for him?
I'm sorry.
Do you have the means to care for the child in the meantime?
Yes.
Ross was arrested and charged with neglect of a child and cruelty to animals. Florida Department of Children and Families also investigated the incident. At the time of this recording, Ross's case is still pending in the courts. Now we're inside the gym of an apartment.
Now we've all seen this one, I believe. This one pisses me off to no end. But that last one, obviously, like, this guy can't take care of dogs or the kids. Like, just come on, man. Lay off the juice for a little while you got your kid, you know? That's all.
Complex in Ocean County, New Jersey, where surveillance footage captures 32-year-old Christopher Greger brutally punishing his 6-year-old son on a treadmill. The chilling video shows the father.
Yeah, this one.
Trigger warning. This video includes sensitive and violent content that may not be suitable for all viewers. This video is for 18 plus only.
Some of you might have to step out on this one. This one's a little rough, but these things need to be seen, in my opinion, because this shows the idiocracy and the ignorance of parents out there that shouldn't have kids, in my opinion.
They're gradually increasing the treadmill speed, causing his son to fall off of it face first about 6 times. Detectives from the Seabright Police Department track Christopher down on the side of the road and take him into custody.
Thanks, Alicia. For those of you that have never seen this one, just be prepared. This one will piss you off to no end. Doing what they did to this guy is nothing. I would have loved to have 10 minutes with this guy. That's all I'm saying.
No, sir.
Okay, well, Mama Bear, I'm letting you know. Be prepared.
Can't go any smoother than that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Case, are we giving you all this property, or are you just want to come? Yeah, if you want to.
As soon as this is over, guys, we'll go through this quickly, and we'll moving on to something quite a bit different. So,
Just take all of his property that he's got in his possession, and we'll take it from you. Dennis can take it. Billy will take it either way. Rich, if he's got a house key, make sure you hold on to that until you get that house key up here.
Officers pat down and search Christopher before placing him in the patrol car for transport to the Ocean County Jail. Initially, Christopher was arrested and charged with child endangerment. The 6-year-old boy died as a result of his injuries, with his death ruled to be a homicide. A year after his son's death, Christopher's charges were upgraded to aggravated manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a child. During a 6-week trial, prosecutors argued he inflicted the blunt force trauma injuries on his son as a punishment for his mother bringing him home 14 hours late. A jury convicted him of aggravated manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a child. On the day of the sentencing, the judge laid it on the father.
And Corey is trailing behind him, having to grab the door himself. And I'm not denigrating Corey when I say that, but he's being treated by the defendant like he's the stray dog following along. So while I respect the character letters I received saying what a loving father he is, a picture is worth 1,000 words and a video is worth 10,000 words. So whatever happened that day, Corey was not receiving love or companionship or kindness or support. He wasn't even receiving what could be described as a tough father was going to raise him to be a man. Get back on the bike when you fell off. That was abuse of the most egregious sort. So on count 2, aggravated manslaughter, I sentenced the defendant to the custody of the Commissioner Department of Corrections for a term of 20 years, subject to the No Early Release Act, New Jersey Statute 2C:43-7.2, such that he has to serve 85% of that sentence before being eligible for parole. On count 1, endangering the welfare of a child, a second-degree crime, I sentenced the defendant to the custody of the Commissioner Department of Corrections for a term of 5 years.
Christopher will spend the next 25 years in prison.
Hey, baby, you okay, honey?
That ain't nothing, folks. So this is the other actual one. That other one was not very long. Everybody knows that. Mama Bear, you'll have to... Basically, that child, he had him running on a treadmill, and then he kept turning it up and turning it up and turning it up. Kid fell multiple times and kept smacking his face, his head, things like that, and eventually the child ended up dying. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Oh, my God. Thinking about it makes me want to go nuts on this guy. It's sick. It's one of the most sickest things I've ever seen a parent do with a child. There's no love there at all. It should be like he should have got the death penalty, in my opinion. I'm sorry. That's when I feel the death penalty is absolutely inept in every situation, is when it comes to the harm of a child, folks. That's me. And yeah, life at the very least. So this one here is the last one, and then on we move to some good Samaritan stuff. So make sure you have them tissues, folks.
Okay. There we go. Come on, baby. Out you come. There you go, honey. Let's give you some water.
Now we head south to St. Petersburg, Florida, where the heat is sweltering at 89 degrees. A few concerned witnesses notice it's been over an hour since an owner last checked on her dog, left inside this car, and called police.
So you never saw anybody come back out or check on him or anything?
Nothing. Not in the last hour anyway. And it makes you wonder, because it's a contractor, he's maybe around here doing work somewhere. Right. What if he showed up this morning and just decided to keep the dog in the truck all day?
Yeah, I don't see any food or water in there. Double check. Yeah, I'm not. You okay, baby? Hi, baby. You're all right, honey. You okay? Yeah, he's panting pretty good.
Yeah. Huh? He's panting?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were looking early.
I know.
This is Beady.
Well, hello, sweetheart. Oh, you're adorable.
You give some kisses. And that's Murphy.
Hi, Murphy. Oh, you're adorable, too. You don't want to say hi? No.
They're on patrol. They're the paw patrol.
Firefighters spring into action, rescuing and hydrating the terrified canine. Once the dog calms down enough, the officers carefully check the tag, hoping to track down its owner.
Oh, so you feel a little touch him. He was squealing. Oh, no, hot. Oh, now you're nice. There we go. He was all... Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was biting at us earlier, but he's calm down now. Sweetheart. Poor baby. Is that a rough day? Oh, perfect. Thank you.
We've done that many a times with the fire department because people are stupid and do it all the time. Then they get mad because you break their window. Yeah, we saved your dog, idiot.
Officers place the dog in the cool air-conditioned car, and finally the owner approaches her truck, unaware of the scene that's unfolded.
What's your name? Melissa Major. Okay. You want to step over here to Rather Is that your car or? It's my company car. Okay. And that's your dog? Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you a few questions about what happened today. I got to read your rights real quick first.
24-year-old Melissa Major is upfront and honest about her mistake.
So what happened? So what are you doing here?
I was just going to a city hall meeting for an hour. Okay. And I was coming straight from doing things with the dog. And I was like, just an hour. It'll be okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back as quick as I can.
What kind of meeting was it?
Urban Forestry Council.
Okay, so it was like a work-related meeting? Or
no,
personal?
it's just I mean, anybody can be on the Urban Forestry Council, but I go because I'm also an arborist and I work for Duke Energy, and there's a lot of city-Duke conflicts, so.
Okay, so it's kind of like a public interest meeting? Would that be?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So it's just something you choose to go to because it's something that interests you, like is
yeah, I'm trying to improve the canopy across the city.
Gotcha, okay. All right. What time did the meeting start?
5:30? 5:20 maybe.
Okay.
It's a little early, we can move it up.
Okay. So what time did you get here?
It couldn't have been any later than 5:15, 5:20.
Okay.
I mean, he got the camera, right? You could see what time I got here.
Okay. Because we got the call around 6:15 and the dog had been in the car for over an hour by the time.
No way, I got here like 5:20. Couldn't have been over an hour.
That's what the witnesses said. Okay. So where do you live at?
I live at
Okay.
Child's Park in Gulfport, right on the edge.
So why didn't you just take the dog home?
I was like running late. I've been having so many meetings today. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. It was just an hour.
You know how hot it is out right now? Okay, do you know how hot it gets in the car? And your windows are cracked a quarter of an inch.
He didn't want anybody to like reach in and try to do something to him. I don't crack him anymore for that reason.
So you're saying this meeting was so important that you're willing to risk your dog's life over?
No.
Okay.
It was dumb. I won't do it again.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
For what?
I'm gonna cook you.
Oh man.
You let him know I'm 15 so my video doesn't work.
Oh no. What is me?
Alright, you got anything on you you shouldn't have? Anything sharp? Is this me or poking?
Could you just press the lock on that?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Is there anything in the car that you need? Anything out of it that you need? Are you wearing a bra right now? Okay, nothing hidden up anywhere?
No.
I still have the dog. Do you want to take her to county or do you want to take the dog to?
I'm pet sitting for this dog.
Oh, so she's not even your dog?
It's a boy. His name's Diego.
He's not your dog?
No, it's my dog for the weekend.
Okay.
Turns out she isn't even the mom of this dog.
Is she a friend of yours or?
Yeah.
Girlfriend or just friend?
No, friend. Ex-coworker.
Okay. So when did you get the dog?
Thursday evening.
Okay. And when were you taking it? When were you picking it back up? This coming Friday?
I was supposed to take him home today, which was like the whole issue because there was a flight that got delayed and canceled. Yeah, that's her business card, actually.
So she's still out of town?
Yeah. She hasn't told me that her flight didn't get canceled, so yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow I was supposed to meet her partner over the bridge to drop the dog off. We could do the switch.
Is her partner around now?
No.
Where's he at?
They're both out of town. She is in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay. Do you mind if we put her in your car for now and then we'll figure out in a second? Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Our dog's dying, unfortunately.
Melissa is arrested and charged with 1 count of animal cruelty. She was released the next day on a $500 bond. According to police, Melissa admitted to leaving the dog in the car. Melissa opted into a pre-diversion agreement for a period of 12 months where she's ordered to complete 25 hours of community service, attend an animal cruelty course, and pay $700 in court fees.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, honey. Thanks for leaving.
Now we're heading to farm.
All right, guys, that's it for those. People piss me off when they do this to animals. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Makes no sense to me. No sense. They're just as important as children are. And if you take care of kids, you take care of animals. It's not that hard. Just common sense stuff. You know what I mean? Mama bear.
Yep.
I'm out. There you go. Yeah,
I was about to lock her in a car, handcuffed, with the windows cracked, see how long she lasted.
Right. I was gonna say. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's just no. Nope. No excuse. Especially, you could tell how hot it was. The woman was standing there sweating through her clothes as she was being talked to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that dog was probably triple that hot inside that car. It's insane. You saw how that dog was drinking the water. It's obvious. You know what I mean? Just saying. Hang on here. All right, here we go. Good Samaritan stuff. See what the positivity that's still out there in the world. Good people, good things happening. Just to remind us that it's not all so bad, not all so negative. They're not all idiots like that woman was with her dog and them parents were with their kids. There's good stuff going on, folks. Remember that.
Donate his organs to save someone else's life. Watch the emotional moment when she hears his heartbeat for the first time inside the 4-year-old transplant recipient. Mia was diagnosed with sepsis and had to amputate both her arms and legs, and after several years, she was finally given a special set of prosthetic running blades. While everyone thought she would only be able to walk a few steps at the first fitting, she surprised everyone by happily running around on her new legs with a smile on her face. When a mother lost her ability to walk after being diagnosed with ALS, she was still able to share a special wedding dance with her son, a moment she dreamed of during her most challenging days battling the fatal disease, finally coming true.
Are you lost? It's okay, come with me, come with me.
When a little boy was found lost by the side of the street on a cold day, this kind man took care of the terrified child and helped him find his mommy.
Take care of it, all right? All right, youngin? Okay. Pop-Tart?
IHOP employee uses sign language to give her deaf customer the best ASL customer service possible. And here is yet another example of phenomenal customer service as a Chick-fil-A cashier shares a special moment with a deaf customer who for the first time was able to order on her own. A beloved custodian from the Ukraine was met with a beautiful surprise when the elementary school students stayed late one night to decorate the hallways with sunflowers and messages of support. And these wonderful Polish volunteers were seen working hard to make the Ukrainian kids happier while crossing the border. A beautiful moment showcasing the importance of helping others in need. Farmers have a great importance in our society, and they work hard regardless of the climate to provide us with food. So the least thing we can do is give back, just like these guys handing a beer to a farmer. It is said when you leave this world, to leave it better than when you arrived. A motto this woman truly lives by as she spends her free time cleaning every headstone in a cemetery, including forgotten heroes and family members.
As I saw all the military headstones covered in mold and moss and mildew, and it just, and like, those aren't supposed to look like that.
This man's 16-year-old son died in a car accident and became a heart donor, saving the life of another person. As a thank you, the recipient of the heart sent a special gift to the teenager's family, a bear with the recording of their son's heartbeat. This Holocaust survivor escaped at the beginning of World War II, thinking his entire family had perished. But just look at how happy he is to meet his last living relative, a nephew, the son of his younger brother who had also survived. Jonathan is extremely colorblind, so when his principal gave him Enchroma glasses, he was finally able to see color for the first time and couldn't hold back the tears.
Hey, come here. Come here, dude. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Even though his mother is in a wheelchair, it didn't stop him from surprising her with a dance at his wedding. These kind people spent their day going around the neighborhood and handing out bananas to hungry monkeys. Stray dogs live a tough life, constantly searching for food and water in order to survive for another day. So when these dogs couldn't find water during a drought, these kind people decided to help. When a homeless guy was walking around barefoot on the New York subway, this kind man literally handed him his own shoes off his feet. These guys performed an act of kindness by saving a drowning kitten after it fell into the sea. When a driverless car was moving towards a busy intersection, a traffic officer saved the day. When a kitten was stuck in a tree, this man came up with a creative solution to help it get down. These police officers had a chilling, or should I say chilly encounter. Instead of fighting against criminals, they had an epic snowball fight against a group of kids and made their day unforgettable. Definitely a childhood dream come true. At his 60th birthday party, the man is sitting on the couch and watching a video filmed by his best friend Ben, who he hasn't seen for 7 years. Watch how surprised he is to learn that the man embracing him is Ben himself.
Oh, crap!
A CEO who has chosen to earn as much as his employees also raised the minimum wage to $70,000 for all of his workers. In turn, they decided to return the favor and put money aside for a year to eventually surprise him with the car of his dreams. These guys working as garbage collectors surprised one of their favorite customers on her 100th birthday.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish. To live to 105.
Shut up.
Here's how Germans react to ambulance sirens, instantly making way for the vehicle. A perfect example of how everyone should react.
They definitely don't do that here. I can tell you that from experience. I wish they did that kind of shit here.
When an elderly man had tripped on the sidewalk and was laying on the street, instead of just walking by, these people stopped to help him. The kind people even paid for a taxi so that he wouldn't have to walk all the way home. A truly exemplary moment of how we should all treat the elderly people in our society. A CCTV camera captured this heartwarming moment when a police officer in China helped an elderly man cross a busy street by carrying him on his back. A man donates water to a group of police officers as a thank you for their service.
I'm fucking yelling at y'all. Don't be looking at me like that. Just try to spread a message, okay? We came out here peaceful. This is what I'm trying to show y'all.
Good job, guys. When a barber was shaving a customer's head who had cancer, he decided to support her by shaving his own head as well. A beautiful act of kindness that'll help her feel like she's not alone in her fight against an evil disease. A moment of respect was caught when this third-place ice skater was mistakenly awarded the gold medal, and she charmingly turned to her opponent and placed it around her neck with grace. Watch as this guy removes chunks of grass and dirt covering a drain on a highway.
Yes! Started circling. That guy is a hero, Deborah. Look at him. Bear with me here. Yeah.
And here's the same road only a few minutes later. When a car stalled out in the middle of a flooded street, a kind-hearted truck driver came to the rescue. While this man shaves his wife's head who has cancer, he decides to support her by shaving his own head right after. And through the difficult process, you can see how they're still staying positive, because even though they're going through hard times, they still have each other. This rescue dog was so terrified that she couldn't even eat, but a veterinarian who does not give up easily decided to eat in a cage with her until he'd won her trust. And now she's going to be just fine, all thanks to a patient man with a big heart. Doing your job is important, but it's even more important to be human and help people who need it. Just watch how this fast food worker abandoned his post to help a disabled man eat. A stranger pays for a woman's groceries, and she couldn't help but let her emotions pour out. This football fan came up with a unique set of hand gestures so that his deaf and blind friend could enjoy the game too. A career criminal cries in shame when the judge recognizes him from middle school and shares with everyone what a good student he was.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh my goodness.
This is the nicest kid in middle school.
Oh my goodness.
He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him and all the kids, and look what has happened. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
When a desperate elderly woman walked around the neighborhood asking for food, every single person denied her. That was until a young girl eating with her father gives away her meal without hesitation. The kind girl even sits down at the woman's table to keep her company while she eats. An amazing act of sportsmanship was shown when a runner collapsed just before finishing the race, and a fellow runner stopped to carry him across the finish line.
This is what sports should be all about.
The runner gave up a gold medal, but proved he has a heart of gold. When a teacher's favorite shoes got stolen, his students all came together and pooled money to buy him a new pair. Watch as he is moved to tears as he realizes how kind-hearted his students truly are.
Yes.
You're gonna make me cry, girl.
Our world is unfair, and some are less fortunate than others. Therefore, we all have an obligation to help people who need it, like this man who sets a good example by giving bags of food to homeless people who can sometimes go days without eating. During the holidays, we tend to forget about people who are all by themselves, but this man decided to spend this Christmas differently and went around the neighborhood to hand out gifts to homeless people. Just look at this homeless man's wonderful reaction as he's given a new jacket. A boy buys flowers from an elderly woman, only to give them right back to her as a kind gesture. This Turkish butcher loves to feed stray animals near his shop with the day's leftovers. Just watch how this dog jumps with excitement. When this girl brought her little shopping cart to the store, a kind man made her day by giving her $1 to spend on her shopping trip.
Shopping too? What are you buying? Yeah, well, wait a minute. I'm gonna help you with your shopping today.
Aw, what do you say, Lily?
That goes on whatever you get.
Say thank you.
Yeah, that's the word.
This little boy's thoughtful gesture when he sees his friend falling asleep is heartwarming. Don't you hate it when kids take all the candy on Halloween? Well, these guys did the complete opposite as they put loads of their own candy into a random house's empty bowl. When this truck driver dropped a bunch of food on the road, many people ignored him and just drove past, but there were a lot of kind people who also stopped to help him out. A couple's bike stalled out in the middle of a busy street, and this man could have just driven by like everyone else did, but something made him come back. Just look how he's cleverly pushing them along with his foot all the way back to the repair shop. During a storm, the roads were quickly flooded, and a poor dog found itself in the worst possible situation. As the water rises faster and faster, the dog is soon to be swept away. But thankfully, these guys heard the dog desperately calling for help and ran out to save him. After this man's wife passed away, his children went out and adopted a shelter dog to keep him company after her death. The dog was found and rescued on the street where it had no home. But as you can clearly see, his children made a great decision not only for their dad, but also for the dog, who now has a real forever home. On a very rainy day, a kind passenger tosses his umbrella to a traffic control officer to help keep him dry. Figure skaters that won silver and bronze at the World Championships helped the gold medalists get up on the podium. A woman who appeared to be spending her birthday alone in a restaurant was brought to tears when complete strangers joined in to help her celebrate.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
All right, that's going to do it for those guys. Jesus. There were some jerkers in there today. For sure. Let's see what we got going on. Let's get some laps going here and get the hell out of here. I'm sure Mama Bear's tired of sitting next to me by now. She's ready to go back to sleep already. How about that? I put her to sleep today, guys. All right, hold on here. Let me grab this here and see what we got.
Alicia's mad at you, just so you know.
She's always mad at me. She's always yelling at me for this. I'm sorry. It's good stuff. It's all good stuff. Sorry that you're crying. Jeez. Jeez. Hold on. Where did it go? Where is it? I always have an itch I can't scratch. Candy. Look, I could show you nonstop negative bullshit if you'd like. Would that make it better? Because it's out here. It's all we ever see. That's why I show that stuff. Sadly, some of it is very sad. I mean, it's happy sad, if that makes any damn sense.
I was just kidding, Phil. Jeez.
I never. Thank you, Phil. See?
I was trying to be hard and stone cold and unfeeling.
How'd that work out for you there, woman?
Not real well.
Yeah, good try.
That's kind of the reaction my husband gives me too. I'm like, I'm a hard ass, and he just laughs. And he's like, okay.
Same thing I do. It's funny, especially when you get all worked up and you try to swear. That's too much for me. Too much for me. Too funny for me, because I know the truth. Let's see. Come on. Where is it? God, I hate looking for things in here. They just
there you go, Phil. Voice of an angel, heart as black as night. That's me.
No, definitely not. Her heart's bigger than my head. So yeah, try that again. That's pretty big. I can never find anything in here. Did you happen to see that new, or you probably don't watch those, do you, Mom Bear? Or yeah, you would. What the hell are they called? Final Destination movies. You seen any of those?
I have. I haven't seen the most recent. Actually, I probably haven't seen the last 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It kind of got a little ridiculous after like.
Oh, they did. They did. This one kind of backtracks, and they called it Bloodlines, basically showing how it started with this scenario, but it's not bad. Hold on here. Okay. too many of these things I have.
No, Phil, he doesn't have cleavage because now that you pointed it out, I always see it and it.
We switch it now.
Yeah. So thanks for that, honey.
Mm-hmm. All right, is it going to load today or not? Good Lord.
I don't know. Is it?
No. All right, and loaded in finally. Good God, that was insane. It's taking forever. Here we go. Let's see what we got. We'll start up here. All right.
Oh my.
What is he doing? Whoa! Good. And she's checking herself out in the mirror. That's hilarious. Did you see that? She said, "Give me that." Took it right out of her mouth.
Can you say love you? Do you want a cookie?
Look, Travis, there's a deer.
Oh my God, that was. Flip the switch. You want a cookie? Yep. Give it to me. That's good.
Okay, show mommy your pirate hat that you wanted. Ah, cool. Can you tell mommy love you? Whoa.
Rora, be a zombie. Be a zombie.
Damn, this camera. Whoa, what are we doing here?
Lisa.
Oh. Phil said, feeling it. Is that what you look like, dancing tomboy? Okay.
So as long as the camera's on,
You don't know what you want to be, do you, kiddo?
Finley. Finley, come here. Look at me. You have to stop crying. Okay? Come here right now. Look at mommy for a minute. You stop crying right now, okay? Are you crying?
No,
Not
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm laughing.
You're happy?
I'm laughing.
Oh, yeah, you're laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to watch Sophia?
Yeah.
Okay, no more crying, okay?
I think I'm a little bit tired.
You think you're a little bit tired. Okay, you can take a little nap?
In your bed?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
What just happened there? Was that like a whole like negotiation process or what? Like, damn. Take a nap in your bed? Okay, we're good. No more crying. I'm laughing. That was too sad. Did you hear what he just said?
I think he said the F word.
He did. He's knocking on the door. Oh, fuck. Really? Good Lord. He must have really had to go. That looks like me during a live stream.
Yep.
Guys, that reminds me so much of Molly right now. Just truly. If she was here, she would agree with me. Next thing you know, the child's going to pick up and throw it across the room. That's Molly for sure.
I just had to get it on video so you can see that Adis is a natural sweetheart. Anytime he sees me crying, it makes him want to cry too.
Aw.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Stop teasing that baby.
But we've got some stinky cheese.
It's not sticky enough.
It's not stinky enough?
No.
Did you smell it?
No.
It's pretty stinky.
No, it's not.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so he was upset because the Parmesan cheese didn't smell bad enough.
That's what it said online.
Bro, I mean, okay.
What are we not supposed to do?
Don't eat any bunch fuzz.
Alright. You're gonna eat every one of those now, okay? You're gonna eat every single one of them now. Every one of them before we leave. We can't touch these right here, right?
Yes.
Can't touch them?
Oh, jeez. Hey, honey. Bianca, what? Oh, no.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Good Lord. That's gross. Sorry. How I am when I run out of bacon too.
That's me trying to stay awake in the chat.
That's how I am sometimes in here too. Maybe not as dramatic as that, but oh no, that's gonna go bad. Don't do that. Are you gonna fit? Oh shit. Okay. Good for you. That's dangerous. Oh, gotta get the diaper butt through. Come on. She did it. That could keep a child entertained all day, I guess. Oh hell. Okay, I've absolutely seen it all now. That's a Roomba that somebody
That's
sat.
awesome.
Oh my god, what an idea! And probably put the baby to right to sleep. That's probably true, Phil. I can agree. Hey, Clifton, good to see you.
Smile at first.
Jason.
That's kind of cool.
Diana. Diana. Did you do that? Diana. Did you do that?
Okay. That's food. I thought that was something else for a minute. What is that, like Nutella or something?
Probably.
Nutsy. Never heard of that. Yeah, I thought that was something else at first. I was gonna say, oh God.
Diana. Who did this? Look at that. Oh, no. You're not touching me.
Mommy, look, you down there.
I know. Look, Lily's mom. Look what she did. Oh!
Doody la, doody. Do it.
That baby's having a blast.
No, I say, like that so fast. I want to see daddy now. Mommy, I want to see my daddy.
Yeah, we told her, look what she did. She's having fun.
Is this in front of you?
Mom,
Mess from Riley?
yeah.
Riley did this?
Oh no, you're not wasting all that Nesquik. No, that's bad. I don't care about the mess. You're wasting that. No.
Yeah.
How did Riley do it when she's been sleeping for the last 30 minutes?
She just took out the hookup and she just lie out the hookup and then did it.
She did what?
She just lie out on her bed and just did it.
She flew out of her bed and did this.
Yeah. And she put her panty on. And
It
just
sure ain't.
lied,
It tastes too good to waste.
lied like a baby superhero.
Aubrey, are you telling me the truth?
Yeah.
Look at mommy. Are you telling me the truth?
Yeah.
Did baby Riley do this?
Yeah.
Aubrey, you know lying is naughty, right?
Yeah.
You get in trouble when you lie to mommy?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to tell me the truth of what happened here?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
Yeah. I did it.
You did it?
Yeah.
Look at mommy. We have a huge chocolate mess to clean up now. And you got it on one of my diapers.
Yeah. And a baby Riley diaper.
A baby Riley diaper, yes. Look at mommy. Are we supposed to play with the chocolate powder?
No.
What happens when we play with the chocolate powder without mommy?
It,
You gonna get in trouble?
yeah. And
So are you gonna get in the bath now and then it's time for a nap?
no.
Yep. Yep.
No.
Yes, you being naughty, you have
Don't do the phone.
You can't go to the park now. Look at this mess you made. Now I have a mess to clean up. So we can't go to the park.
But I really want to slide on the slide.
I wanted you to slide on the slides too. But now
Why does this sound like Alicia? Does this or does this not sound like her voice? I'm telling you it does.
we have to clean this up instead. Look at mommy. Don't play in the powder.
Please. When you get your own house, what? You're not gonna have a boyfriend. Jelly, come here. Come here. Hurry. You are not gonna have a boyfriend.
Mom, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a boyfriend.
You better not have no boyfriend.
Right, Mama?
I'll kick their butt.
Right, Mama?
Yes, when you get older.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna be 4, and I'm going on the bus.
That doesn't mean you can have a boyfriend. Daddy will get him and put him upside down and shake him.
Well, you have a boyfriend.
Yeah, but you're not. You're gonna be a nun.
And Grandma,
The mom, Alicia, not the baby.
and Grandpa Andrew has a boyfriend.
Grandpa Andrew has a boyfriend.
A girlfriend.
What's his name?
Grandma Linda.
Oh, Grandpa Linda. No, because when you have a boy, you're gonna be a nun, babe. You're gonna go work. No, babe, you're gonna go work at the church.
No, I'm gonna have a boyfriend.
Babe, you're gonna work at the.
No.
You don't want to work at the church?
No, I'm gonna have a boyfriend.
Why?
Because stop it.
No boyfriends, Jelly.
Yeah.
Daddy will kick their butts.
No.
Mama, when you get older and you finish school and you go to college, then
And
you
you're
can
30.
have a boyfriend.
When you're
okay?
30, you could have a boyfriend, okay?
No, when I'm 4.
When
you're 4.
Not when you're 4, when you're 30. Okay? Deal?
When you're 30. Pinky promise? Say, I promise, Dad.
I promise.
No boyfriend until you're 30. Say it. When you're 30? Okay, Jill.
Good night, Mama.
I'll show you that. Get it bigger. We promised. No boyfriend.
You. What did you do?
I'm stuck.
You're stuck?
Yeah.
What happened?
I stuck in the toilet. I stuck.
Oh, no.
You got stuck in the toilet seat over your head? Is your ears in the way? You want Daddy to help get it off? Okay. All right.
Wait a second. I don't know how he's gonna get this off.
Grease it up. Grease it up.
Come here. Here, Mommy's gonna hold the camera. Here. Okay.
Daddy's gonna help you out.
Just a minute. You gotta go slow. There you go.
Hey,
Hey,
come here.
you gonna do it again?
Are you gonna do it again? No.
You not
Okay.
gonna do it no more?
No. Okay.
Okay.
Kata. Kata. You have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
No!
Shut
No!
up!
No boyfriend!
Shut
No!
up!
Tell her I don't have a boyfriend. No!
You have a boyfriend?
No!
You have a boyfriend?
No!
Shut
No!
up!
No!
Shut up!
You don't have a boyfriend.
Shut up!
No boyfriend.
Shut up!
No boyfriend.
Shut up!
You only two. No boyfriend.
Shut up!
Yo, no boyfriend!
Kata, you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
No!
Shut up!
No!
Shut up!
No boyfriend, Kata. No.
Shut up!
Daddy cry?
Shut up!
Daddy cry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your dad's crying.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for today. Thank you, Mama Bear, for joining me. I hope that brought a couple of smiles to your faces at least. Thank you guys for joining us today. I appreciate you very much, and hopefully we'll see you guys sometime later on. It is Saturday night. We'll see what we got going on. We may be doing some creepy, weird, unexplained crap tonight, or depending on what my son says, I don't know. We'll see. He's been begging me for a week for something, so we'll see how it goes down. But either way, I'll be in here later on. Thank you, moderators, for all you do. As always, Phil, it was great to see you jump back in here, and we've missed you quite a bit, and your amazing statements that you always make in here. I love them so much. Always makes me smile or laugh until I crack a rib, one of the two. Thank you again, Hunter, for that. Appreciate that very much. Again, Mom Bear, it was great to have you back up here. We've missed you quite a bit.
Fun.
You guys have a great rest of your day till I see ya. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people, and we will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Don't forget to hit Mama Bear's like button over there, please. If you haven't done it yet, please and thank you. It's still pinned in the top of the chat. Bye-bye,
Thanks
y'all.
to you, the guys that do. And I will see you guys later.
Life's a journey, let's make every moment shine. Together we share our hearts so intertwined. Each time you tune in, we're dancing in sync. With every story told, just let your soul think. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day.